We'll be live in about a minute, actually. We got a lot to cover today. Oh, man. And it is open phones today. Then. Cutting it close. Welcome to the stream, everyone. My name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk, and we will be live in seconds, okay? Live in seconds. In fact, 10. Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. And man, oh man, do we have a lot to talk about. I mean, there's a lot going on here. And, you know, it's the things that come out of the news sometimes really are shocking. They really are. You know, as long as I do this, I never get jaded. I'm never really, no. Things happen each and every day that just, how did this happen? And how did someone do this? And James Comey is in so much hot water now. I mean, he is in an incredible amount of hot water for what he did, which we're going to break down and take your calls on. And, you know, James Comey, he's under investigation by the FBI. Let me go through this story. This is in the Gateway Pundit. This went viral late in the day yesterday. This is the headline. Comey deletes Trump assassination social media post. Yeah, you heard me, right. Former FBI Director James Comey, who was fired by President Trump, deleted his Instagram post, which appeared to call for the assassination of President Trump. Comey posted a cryptic message to his Instagram account on Thursday, spelled out in seashells, 86-47. Yeah. And then he wrote under this image, cool shell formation on my beach walk. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. Comey deleted the post after major backlash. I mean, this instantly went viral beyond imagination. I haven't seen something go viral like this in a long time. Comey deleted the post after a major backlash, and he updated with what they describe in the Gateway Pundit as an unbelievable comment. And here it is. This is what Comey wrote after he deleted it. I posted earlier a picture of some shells I saw today on a beach walk, which I assumed were a political message. I'll stop right there. There's more. So Comey, you know, how many people has he arrested and put in jail for lying, right, to federal agents? He lied. He is saying here that he was walking down the beach and just so happened to come across some shells that were just laying on the beach naturally, brought in by the waves and the surf, and it said 8647. Let me go back to it. I'll start over. This is after Comey deleted the post because there was so much viral outrage over it. He wrote this, Comey. I posted earlier a picture of some shells I saw today on a beach walk, which I assumed were a political message. I didn't realize some folks associate those numbers with violence. It never occurred to me, but I oppose violence of any kind, so I took the post down, Comey said on Instagram. Everyone knows what 86 something means, okay? Especially in that context. And what we're going to start to see, and I've already seen this from liberals, they're telling us it's a restaurant term. I've heard that several times. I saw that on social media immediately. Now, I've never worked in a restaurant, and And I doubt that Comey has either. And I've never heard of it being a restaurant term before, but that's one of their talking points that they're trying to run with on this. No one's going to believe that. No one's going to buy that. And no one accepts that, okay? I mean, that's just nonsense, okay? Others are saying, well, Whitmer, a couple years ago in the first term, when she had that Fauci pillow behind her in her office, that she had a cup that said 8645. And there's others that are defending him that are saying, well, some of the anti-Trump protesters that aren't famous, like normal people like you and me, have had this on their protest signs near and around the White House. Well, all of these are illegal. A meme threat like this against the President of the United States is a 5-year prison sentence. It's a 5-year prison sentence, guys, for this. People have gone to prison for doing things like this. And because others may have done it and have not been caught, does not mean it's okay for you to do it. As an example, if someone robs a bank and gets away with it, can you go rob a bank? Now, of course not. Some others are saying, well, he deleted it. When you commit a crime, a threat against a president of the United States, you can't just delete it and say, do-over. Back to the bank, if you robbed a bank and then people, oh my goodness, they're looking for me, and you took the money back, right? An hour later, 5 minutes later, would they say, oh, okay, you brought the money back? Or would you get arrested and go to prison? So all of these defenses are insane. And Comey, others may have done this and it's gone unnoticed, but it was noticed this time. Tulsi Gabbard says he should be arrested. She was on Fox News with Jesse Waters last night. Other conservatives are talking this way, as are people outside the White House. Back to the Gateway Pundit. Comey's implying he did not assemble the shell formation. He's claiming he just happened to stumble across the assassination message while he was on his beach walk. Does anyone believe that? The White House responded to Comey's social media post, calling it what can clearly be interpreted as a hit on a sitting president of the United States. This is the White House. This is deeply concerning to all of us and is being taken seriously. The FBI has been made aware of Comey's post. So what are your thoughts here? I want to hear your thoughts. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you're listening. 888-465-2631. And here's my question to you. A couple questions. What Comey did, was that a threat? Yes or no? And explain yourself. Do you think what Comey did was a threat against the president? 2, should Comey be arrested for this post to Instagram? I'm saying yes to both of them, but I'd like to hear what you think. At 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you're listening. 888-465-2631. Also, it is Friday. I can't believe it's Friday already. That means it's open phones on Friday. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. And on Friday's show, you can call in about any and everything on your mind. You're not limited to the topics that we bring up, okay? The other 4 days, we try to corral you in to the topics that Steve and I bring up. But on Friday, the show prep is up to you guys. Although this is a big story, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this, but you don't have to comment on this. You can call in about anything on your mind. And you don't have to agree to call in, and you don't have to disagree to call in. We take calls from people who both agree and disagree with what we're saying on the program. The number is toll-free no matter where you're listening, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. Is the Comey photograph on Instagram a threat against President Trump? And should Comey be arrested and go to jail? If this were you or me, it already would have happened. We'd be sitting in a cell right now awaiting arraignment this morning. Now, I want to tell you guys, the weekend is here. It's Friday already, right? Yeah, that's right. If you are in pain, if you have some aches, if you're uncomfortable, go see Dr. Appleton. Do it today. Do it tomorrow. You know, walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays with Dr. Appleton, and take advantage of his laser away pain treatment. It works. He's rid me of pain 7 times. I love Dr. Appleton. And Dr. Appleton, if you're up early listening, I'm sorry I haven't seen you in a while, but you've rid me of all my pain. So next time I fall off my skateboard, I'll see you again. But you know, it's amazing. His laser away pain treatment works on every type of pain I've ever heard of. Arthritis, which it rid me of. Bursitis, work and sports injuries, strains and sprains, repetitive motion injuries, post-surgical swelling, neck and back injuries, knee conditions, tinnitus, sciatica, spinal stenosis, fibromyalgia, plantar fasciitis, rotary tears, herniated disc, acute pain, chronic pain, much, much more. And I've met many of our listeners who are now living a pain-free life, like I am, thanks to Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain treatment. Now, not only are appointments not necessary, and walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays, the laser away pain treatment, there's no injections, no drugs, no downtime, no surgery. It's 100% painless. In fact, you don't even feel it when it happens. When he's treating, you don't even feel it. The consultation's free. Dr. Appleton performs all the laser treatments himself as well. Give him a call, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710, and online, AppletonCairo.com. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our first break of the day. Come back with your calls. Now, again, it is open phones on Friday, open Mega Mike Friday. Show prep's up to you all. You can call in about any and everything on your mind. But this Comey story is big, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. 1, was Comey making a threat against the president? 2, should he be arrested and go to jail? 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back. Welcome, guys. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. If you're on hold, hang in there. And if you would like to call in, the number is pinned in the chat, all right? So if you'd like to call in, it's right there. All right, I'm just doing an audio check. Test 1, 2. And if you would like to call in, the number... Okay. All right, everything is cool. I want to go right to the phones when we get back. No, I'm talking to you guys and our radio listeners. Agents. He lied. No, I'm talking to you. Be back in 1 minute. Call us on hold. Stand by.
President's life, and that's illegal. I mean.
Okay. We are back. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show. Open MAGA Mike Friday, but I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on the Comey situation. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
You know, this shows how stupid this guy is. Think about it. What have we always said about texting? You better be cognizant of what you text, because once you hit send, you never get it back. It's always going to be out there, right?
Yeah, that's true, Mike. I agree with Mike from Louisiana. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Dean from Mega Martin County.
Hey, Dean. What's up?
Hey, I totally agree that Comey should be arrested and put in jail. The problem I have is Jim Jordan and James and Comer. They did nothing for the last 2 years that Biden was in. They said, "Oh, we got."
Well, why are we talking about the past? And I mean, it's open phones, but why? Already Comey's under.
I think the Republicans won't do anything.
Well, it's not up to Congress. Excuse me, it's not up to Congress. Okay, the director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, said he should be arrested. They already have the FBI. They already. Well, you have to investigate first. The FBI and Secret Service are investigating right now as we speak.
Well, look at Wisconsin. People went through ICE. That Congress lady, whatever she was,
Wisconsin. The judge is in jail in Wisconsin, and that immigrant was she.
Okay,
Letitia James in New York just got her subpoena to a grand jury. I mean, what do you want? I mean, these things take time.
Okay. You know how we are in Martin County. We just want justice faster for these liberals.
When you're going after high-profile people like a former director of the FBI, it's not like going after you or me. Okay, if this were one of us, we'd be in a jail cell right now. Okay, they would have busted in our front door. Okay, but when you're doing you're doing an investigation like this on someone high-profile, you have to be a little more diligent about it. Because, he's going to have the best lawyers in America. No, be patient. All right, Martin County, calm down. Oh, my goodness. Was that Richie's brother there with all the negativity? Hold on. Let me go back here. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Sharon from Phoenix, Arizona.
Hey, Sharon.
And, hi. Comey should be arrested and put in jail. He should be thrown away for the other things he's also already done.
Well, here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. Letitia James is one of the top lawfare people, no doubt about it. We're getting her on mortgage fraud. What Comey did here is punishable by 5 years in federal prison. When you have these lawfare people, it's like Al Capone. They didn't get Al Capone for the murders he committed. He committed a lot of them. They got him on income tax evasion. You get them on what you can get them on. If we get Comey on this threatening meme and Letitia James, who's facing 30 years in federal prison on mortgage fraud, that's good. These other things in the past are going to be difficult, maybe even impossible to prove and charge and convict on. So we get them with what we can. I mean, wouldn't you be satisfied if you got 5 years for this?
Yes.
There you go.
No, I really wouldn't be.
Well,
I wouldn't really be satisfied, no, because he's murdered other people other than this. But besides that, I remember all these things. I'm 82. I remember all the stuff that went on with Capone, and I know about Letitia James, and I am thoroughly ticked off. If this would have been Biden, he would already be in jail.
But it's not, right? It's
I
not.
get that.
So but we, believe me, we control the Justice Department now. He's not going to get away with this. I'd be shocked if he did. The White House is already commenting on it, and they're ticked. It is very threatening. And if he gets away with it, it would allow others to get away with it, right? Justice has to be across the board. If they let Comey get away with this, it endangers the president even more, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you think he's going to get arrested, Comey?
Nope.
Really? So Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, and Dan Bongino are going to let him get away with this?
No, on second thought, you're right. You're usually right.
Okay.
Is this number that I called this morning a good number every day for all your shows?
No matter what studio I'm at, this is the same number.
Okay, I'm going to put it in my index.
Okay,
My
that's good.
personal phone index.
All right. I appreciate it. All
Thank
right,
you
good to
very
hear
much.
from you. All right, take
Bye.
care. Take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, this is James from South Carolina. What's going on, man?
Hey, James. Well, I'll tell you what's going on. James Comey's doing crime. That's what's going on.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Hey, real quick, I couldn't hear the radio show when I called in this morning. They was playing some kind of playback.
Yeah, I know. Well, when you're, it
Is this
depends.
normal?
When I'm in this studio, hold on, let me get it here. When I'm in this when I'm in this studio, you're going to hear that on hold.
Okay, yeah, that just kind of confused me a little bit.
But don't be
Yeah, man.
confused.
So yeah. So just calling today, man. I just want to see if I can get you out of the closet today, man.
Out of the closet.
You're in session with you're in session with Trump, man. I mean, this is like non-normal. You're probably on the Secret Service watch list.
What do you think? What do you mean? What do you mean? Out of the closet. What closet do you think I'm in?
Well, it's the whole term. You're an old guy. I mean, the closet from, being gay,
What would be?
it's not
Well,
normal for
I
another man
gotta.
to be this obsessed over another man.
I gotta.
Can you admit that?
I got a question for you, and and
Well,
you'll deny this.
Are you going to answer my question first? I want to.
What is your question? You didn't. What is your question?
I asked you if you would come out the closet today. Now you're deflecting. You want to ask me a question.
No, I'm not. I'm not in any closet.
But you clearly are. I mean, you are like in love with this man.
Little projection going on.
What
What I'm trying to now, you'll deny this probably, but as a liberal, why would you think it would be negative for someone to be gay?
So I'm not a liberal.
I know. I figured. Didn't I tell you he was going to deny that? All right, let's go. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine, Brian.
Hey, Jeff. How you doing?
Hey, over in Saudi Arabia, did you notice when he went to speak, they played God Bless America, and when he got it done, they played the YMCA song. YMCA song.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine in a Middle East country them playing God Bless the USA? They'd do that for no one but Trump. He is more respected over there than in our Congress, and that makes me sick, Brian. It really does.
I'm not sick. I feel great. I mean, there's every Muslim country he went to.
I mean about how he's being treated, Speaker of the House. They're not pushing all of Trump's agenda, and I don't understand why President Trump doesn't call him on that.
What are they not doing for Trump?
They're slow rolling. They're not endorsing all of this stuff, and they have the majority to do it.
Well, there's some Republicans that are breaking ranks, right? But President Trump's been in the Middle East.
Right.
He's coming back today. So let's see how butch these traitor Republicans are when Trump's back at home. It's easy for them to stand up against Trump when he's outside the country.
That's right, and I'm hoping that. But did you hear that Qatar in 2 or 3 days got that last hostage removed, and they could have done it before, and that he called them on it? And what he's doing in the Middle East, he got Zelensky and Putin together. He's done so much for the Middle East and all around the world, and he's doing so much all at once around the world. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
This guy is a rock star. We are living in the greatest time in America. We have the #1 president for we the people doing what he said he was going to do. And I want Congress all of Republicans to pass his stuff because he deserves that.
Yeah, he does. Don't worry, he's gonna get the bill passed. Don't worry about
He
it.
will.
And by the way,
And I agree with that.
Mike Johnson is very tight with Trump. He's very MAGA. He's very loyal to Trump. So don't worry about Mike Johnson. I got to run for the break, but I appreciate the call, Jeff. Take care. Great call. If you're on hold, hang in there. It is Open MAGA Mike Friday. You're welcome to call in about any and everything on your mind on Friday's show. It is open phones, but I am going to continue to go through the Comey story. Call us on hold. Stand by. We'll be right back. Call us on hold. Hang in there. All right, we'll be back shortly, guys. Welcome. If you're new to my channel, this is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure you subscribe, all right? Just answering DMs. We'll be back in less than a minute, and we'll go to the calls when we get back. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, okay? This is where MAGA comes to talk. We're back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. And of course, it is open phones, open MAGA Mike Friday on Friday's show. But this Comey threat against President Trump is the big story of the day. And I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that. But as I say, it is open phones. You can call in about anything you want. You don't even have to comment on the main topic. All right, let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. One.
Hey there.
Yeah.
My name is Michael, and I'm from Harrisburg.
All right, Michael, what's on your mind?
Hey, I just a couple questions. So I'm trying to better understand the MAGA perspective relative to what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And so I don't really know your perspective on this, and this isn't an attack, but do you have like issues with people of like different nationalities or anything like that, or are you just kind of accepting of everyone, just kind of so we can kind of get a baseline?
Oh, so this is, I'm going to answer your question, but I'm going to talk to the audience about, you're new to the program, I can tell.
I am.
Yeah, I'm very new.
I am, yeah.
So this, what you have here is a never-Trumper liberal who's on a fishing expedition, who has very negative stereotypes of Trump supporters. What he's asking is, am I a bigot? Am I racist? Am I a nationalist who does not like foreigners? And the answer to that question is, we love people that are foreigners and immigrants who are legal. The First Lady, the most beautiful First Lady in history, the international supermodel Melania, is a naturalized U.S. citizen. The First Bud, the great Elon Musk, is a naturalized U.S. citizen. So no, we don't have problems with legal immigrants. It's the ones that are illegal that we have problems with.
Yeah, my question wasn't so much about legal immigration. It was more about like legislation that's being passed with regards to or legislation that's being proposed for changing interracial marriage,
interracial marriage. Well, I've got, you're new to the show, so you don't know this, but I have an interracial family. My daughter is black.
Okay. So then,
sorry, more fishing. You haven't caught one yet. They're all getting away. The hating the immigrants, that faded away. Calling me a racist, that faded away. Interracial relationships is why I'm a father. If it wasn't for interracial relationships and sexual activity, I wouldn't have my beautiful 26-year-old daughter. All right?
Well, I'm specifically not using like accusatory.
Yeah, you are. You are. Go ahead. Go fishing again. Throw the line in the water again. Let's go.
Okay.
First two didn't work.
So again, part of what I'm trying to understand here is when supporting Trump, while he's supporting like actions with Doge of firing so many people without really having the visibility in what these services are for, what their jobs are, and things like that, and causing these types of issues, or the fact that Doge itself also is really just breaking even and is not actually accomplishing the goals that it set out to perform. When these types of promises aren't being fulfilled, how does that affect your image or your feelings toward Trump?
Well, nothing you said is true. I mean, this is, what is this? Rachel Maddow's monologue last night, put in ChatGPT and reworded or something? Nothing that you said is true. What Doge has done is, what Doge has done has been incredibly effective and will have impacts on our great country for the next 100 years. And I'll give you a couple of examples. What we found out is that there's two main things I'm going to share with you, okay? What we found out is, it was shocking, that this deep state front organization, USAID, was the piggy bank that all the thieves in our government were using to steal money for the U.S. Treasury. And because of Doge, that was shut down. And that's a pretty good thing. The other thing they've done, other than save a lot of money and things, is they've shown the American people that the federal government has just been one big rip-off bank account at the U.S. Treasury for our entire lives. That the members of government at all levels have been stealing money nonstop, using it as their personal unlimited bank account. And that's woken up so many millions of people in this country. So, you know, those are two big things that Doge did.
Yeah, but the thing is that you can actually track the amount of spending the amount of government funds that are actually being spent on Doge, and when you compare that to the amount of savings, it actually does break even. This is actually very easily verifiable.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how much Doge is costing. It's a small group of people that work for the Treasury Department. What are there, about a dozen of them? Less, maybe.
But knowing how much Doge costs is kind of critical.
Well, how are Elon Musk, who's working for free, and there's a team of 10 or 12, maybe less. I've seen them a few times do some interviews. How much are they getting paid that's costing more than the billions that they're saving? That makes no sense.
Well, no, that's actually, like I said,
how is this Doge team that's around about 10 or 12 costing hundreds of billions of dollars? You say that they're costing as much as they're finding in fraud?
Well, the thing is that Doge hasn't saved us hundreds of billions of dollars, and part of the challenge here too is that part of what Doge is doing is also deregulating the areas that are investigating Elon Musk, and so you're saying that he's working for free.
Why is Elon Musk why would Elon Musk be investigated? And who's investigating him?
Why would he be investigated?
Yeah.
For multiple reasons.
What?
So, like the SpaceX rocket explosion, the fraudulent claims for the auto-driving technology with the Tesla vehicles, the massive recalls that occurred with like 213,000
Do you know when new rockets are being tested, there's always explosions. NASA had this problem in the beginning. Before they sent men up into space the first time. This always happens, but you're aware, Elon, do you know who gave Elon Musk his contract for the space flights?
It depends on which era of SpaceX you're talking about.
In general, when did he get his contract with the government? Who gave it to him? Who was president?
So you're talking.
You don't want to say Obama. Obama. And Obama gave him the contract. No, we're talking about SpaceX in general. And I'll tell you another thing. Elon Musk has hold on. I'm not finished. Elon Musk has really one of the highest security clearances you can have. If he's so untrustworthy and he needs to be investigated and is so dangerous, why did President Obama and President Biden, sorry for me even to say President Biden, he's such a jerk, but why did President Biden and Obama allow him to have rockets that he could launch anywhere? He could launch a rocket into New York City or Tehran or Miami, but they let him, he launches rockets pretty much every day. I watch them launch all the time from my house here in Florida. If he's so dangerous and so criminal, why did the Democrats allow him to have rockets to launch that could land and hit anywhere?
That doesn't exactly make any sense.
It makes sense. If someone's a criminal and they should be investigated, why would you allow them to have rockets that could blow up American cities? Because that's what he has the ability to do.
Are you going to let me respond
to
your question?
Respond. Respond.
Okay. So, like I was saying before, the big difference between then and now is that previously the regulatory bodies and the investigative bodies in place in order to keep these things in check and to make sure that all this was on the up and up existed. And so now he's in a position and has already shown that he fire all of the attorneys generals, the regulatory commissions, and the investigators that actually would keep this in check. And ever since that has occurred, the frequency of accidents and the issues that have been discovered have increased.
Okay, Elon Musk. I don't know if that's true, but Elon is testing some new rockets, including the largest rocket ever constructed. So that's going on. However, Elon doesn't fire anyone. You're aware of that, right? Others inside the government do. Cabinet secretaries and the president does the firing, not Elon. He hasn't fired anybody in the government.
That's based on what Doge is telling them to do. So I mean, that's kind of
it's what Doge is finding. I don't understand why you acknowledge that the government has been a piggy bank for thieves. So I don't understand why you want that to continue.
you're actually that's conflating two completely different pieces here. So
Conflating. Oh my goodness, another one.
Saying that we don't.
Another one right out of the college lecture. It sounds like a college lecturer I'm talking to. You sound like a college professor. Hey, listen, I gotta run. No, that's not a compliment. Listen, I appreciate the call. Welcome. Sorry, I'm not a racist. Sorry that I don't hate immigrants. And I gotta let you run because we got to take a commercial break. And I do want to tell you, the most important day of the year will be here before you know it. And of course, the most important day of the year is Father's Day. Absolutely, I'm a father. And oh boy, there's no better gift for a dad on his day than the great MyPillow products. And I have them all. You can use our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, site-wide at mypillow.com for huge savings. But I've been talking a lot this week about the MyPillow slippers. They're $90 off. They are so comfortable. You've never had a slipper this comfortable. I'm here to tell you. They are so comfortable. You know, at the end of the day, when I put my feet in my MyPillow slippers, the stress just leaves my body, starting from my feet all the way up. They're so comfortable. Just like everything Mike Lindell makes, they're high quality too. They're $90 off right now. They come in different colors, and they have large and big and wide sizes for bigger guys. But then again, anything at mypillow.com, like the pillows or the bathrobes, these are all great gifts for dad on his day. But the slippers, there's not a dad in America who would not love a pair of MyPillow slippers, especially a MAGA dad for Father's Day. So go to mypillow.com, use our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, toll free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. We'll be right back. You like how that guy was fishing? Like, do you hate immigrants? Are you a racist? You know? Oh my goodness. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll go back to the phones. Now, Friday's show is open phones. Monday through Thursday, when people call in, you got to talk about what we're talking about. But on Friday, the show prep is up to you guys. You can call in about any and everything on your mind. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday, all right? And if you want to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat. Okay. If you're on hold, hang in there. I'm going to go back to the phones when we get back. Now, it is only one call per day. So if you're somebody who's already called again and you're on hold, it's one call per day. All right? We'll be back in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Oh, yeah, the MyPillow My Slippers are spectacular. I love them. And remember, they're good for all day wear. You can wear them as regular shoes. Steve Kane does. $90 off. And they come in a great box, perfect to wrap for Father's Day. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com. All right, and the MyPillow link is in the description of the video. Well, I don't have the box. They don't show you the box. And I got my slippers years ago, so I don't have the box anymore. But it's a nice box. It's perfect for wrapping. Oh, yeah. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. We'll be back in 1 minute. This is a radio station break. Calls are going pretty well so far. I've liked the calls. Good calls. I don't mind being challenged. That guy cracked me up. Cracked me up. Can Comey share a cell with Puff Daddy? Yeah, that's interesting. P. Diddy. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. We'll be back. back in just a few seconds. All right, we're back. Only one opening on the board at 1-888-465-2631. It is Open MAGA Mike Friday, open phones on Friday. Any and everything on your mind is fair game when you call in on Friday's show. The big story of the day is this threat that Comey made. That's right, the former FBI director, Comey made against President Trump. And he is under investigation. So we'll go back to the phones and see what you all have to say. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, how's it going? Am I coming through all right?
You are. What's on your mind?
All right, my name is Chris. I'm calling from Pittsburgh.
Hey, Chris.
I'm 28 years old. I'm just, recently, I think it was Tuesday, you were talking about the pharmaceuticals.
Mm-hmm.
And just like through my whole life, like growing up, I feel like it's been more and more pharmaceutical companies pushing like commercials and stuff. And I was wondering how you feel about that, if they should be allowed to market prescription drugs.
Well, yeah, it's America, so I think they have the freedom to do that. Yeah, sure. If you have a legal product, you should be able to advertise it. Cigarette companies should be able to advertise on TV. Yeah, sure. It's America. First Amendment.
You defend it because that's how you found out about pre-exposure prophylaxis, right?
I have no idea what you're talking about. No, this is what I believe.
You found out about PrEP, right? And that's needed for you.
What? What is that? Are you saying I got some?
It keeps you from getting AIDS.
Oh, okay. Why would I? Why would I be at?
We both know.
Why would I be at risk for AIDS?
I think we both know why.
No, tell me. Tell me.
You don't need me to spell it out.
No, tell me why. What am I, an IV? You think I shoot up heroin and use dirty needles? You think I'm a junkie?
No, not at all. I don't think you're a drug user.
Well, why would I be at high risk to get AIDS?
Well, there's another group of people that are at high risk for AIDS. Come on, man.
I don't know. What you think I'm a prostitute? What do you think I am?
Hey, it's okay that you're in the closet, all right?
Well, why don't you just say what you're thinking? I don't know what you're talking about.
I just did. I said I think you're closeted.
Closet? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you. That's all you got.
Craig, I mean,
that's all you got.
Is there anything you want to talk to me about? I don't.
No, not since you asked. No, there's nothing I want to talk to you about. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning, Brian. It's Lenny in Coconut Creek.
Hey, Lenny. What's on your mind? All right, man.
Well, last night, watching. Oh my God. Is caca duty poo poo allowed?
No, got to hit the dump on that one. No, I mean, come on. Let me put you on hold while we wait for the delay to re-engage. I mean, if you question whether it's allowed, the answer is no. Let me recap while we're waiting for the delay to rebuild. Comey, who was behind the fake Russian dossier and was fired by Trump, posted on Instagram yesterday 8647. That is a threat. It is a threat punishable by 5 years in prison. So what we're talking about this morning is should Comey be arrested? And was this a threat? I guess it's the other way around. Was this a threat and should he be arrested? Those are the questions. Now, again, it is open phones. Okay, the delay is re-engaged. I think this is the line Lenny was on. All right, Lenny.
Yeah.
No, those words, the delay is re-engaged. If you've got any doubt about what words are allowed or not, don't just...
My bad.
Yeah.
My bad, and I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Watching Jesse, last night.
Jesse Waters.
Tulsi, exactly. These high-profile, individuals, what you said is true. He's going down, and but see, my faith is in this current administration that he's going to be held responsible for what he did.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, and Pam Bondi on the job, and there have been people that have gone to prison for less. Hey, Lenny, I appreciate the call. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Renee from Holland.
Hey, Renee.
Hey, you know what? You are using that girl you adopted to hide your racism, and that is really not right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You are a racist, and you use her to hide your bigotry.
Can you give me an example of my racism? Give me an example of my racism.
Your racism is on your shirt. Your racism is that Make America Great Again. When did it stop being great?
Well, I'm not wearing a Make America Great Again hat. I'm wearing a Trump 2028 hat right now. And for those on the radio, the shirt I'm wearing is President Trump after the Never Trumpers shot him, and he got up and he said, "Fight, fight, fight." It says "Not today" over it. What is racist about that?
That is not the issue I'm talking about.
Oh, so you can't think of an example of my race. You call me a racist, but you can't think of an example of my racism. Give me an example.
The racism is in your language, is in everything you exhibit.
What is the last racist thing I said, then? You said it's in what I say. So what did I say that was racist?
You are so white supremacist. Your whole thing is on the replacement theory, in that you're running out of white people. And
No,
we need to get those Mexicans and those third worlders.
No, I don't. That's not what I've said. That's not. I haven't said that. You said that my words are that I use racist language. Can you give me an example of something I've said today or yesterday that's racist, or this week? What have I said that's racist? A recent example.
All right. When you get a caller and you try to talk about where they're from, and then you denigrate where they're from.
That's a vague generality. You've got to give me an example of that. Give me an example of it.
Shut up. When you cut somebody off, talk on top of them, and then tell them they don't speak English right, and they're not American enough for you.
I've never said I've never said that. All right, Renee, appreciate the call. So he's got no examples. You know, calling someone a racist is a pretty big deal. And if you call someone a racist, you should be able to back that up, okay? Oh, my goodness. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hi, good morning, Brian. This is Danielle from Michigan.
Hey, Danielle.
What a wonderful, amazing week that we just had.
Indeed.
And to put a little cherry on it at the very end of the week, corrupt Comey, however you say his name, Comey, unbelievable what's going to be happening and exposed here. It's going to be wonderful to watch.
Well, do you believe, after the top of the hour, I'll recap the story for people that are tuning in, but do you think that Comey was making a threat to President Trump?
86-47, I mean, doesn't that kind of mean get rid of him?
Yes, that's exactly what it means.
That's exactly
So
what,
that's, yeah.
when
yeah.
I saw 86-47.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's exactly what it means.
I gotta ask a question. Yeah, do we by chance know if the best president of our lifetime is back yet?
He's on his way back. He's coming back today.
He's on his way.
He's coming back today.
I was just wondering, because I've been following it all week. It's just been absolutely amazing to watch. And if you go over to the mainstream media, or you ask people that aren't listening to like you and all of the other truthful news, they're not showing all of the accomplishments. They're not showing everything that he has done for our country and the world over in the Middle East.
Well, that's why they're irrelevant. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. You know, the mainstream media they're practically out of business, right? And that's why. Let's see here. Put you on hold. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, my name's Nick. I'm calling from Baton Rouge.
Yeah, Nick. You're on.
I heard that last caller. What was his deal? I mean, I don't know why people call you like that.
Probably, probably like you, someone that has a thing for me.
Like me. What are you talking about?
I don't know. A lot of times, gay men like that last caller that are uncomfortable with their feelings are trying to project.
What are you talking about me? What are you talking about me for?
Well, you called me, and you're probably the guy I was talking to a few minutes ago. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, I'm
City, South Carolina. How you doing today?
All right, Andrew. You're on the air.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so I just wanted to lay out a couple of points and a question.
You got a very bad connection. You're going to have to call back. That connection's really bad. I can't hear you. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Eugene from Hawaii.
All right, Hawaii, speak up.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, speak a little louder.
Yeah, talk louder, Hawaii. Go ahead. Speak loud like Tulsi Gabbard from Hawaii.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, hey, you know, I support your program. I'm a MAGA supporter. I commend you staying up there, taking these ridiculous calls. I think they're getting paid to impugn your reputation and character.
Please, who's impugning my reputation? Are you kidding?
Yeah, these are idiots.
When you're a well-known person, a lot, you know, you have people that have fantasies about you. Sometimes they're sexual. And, you know, since I've been doing this, since I was very young, I've always had men that have these fantasies about me. I mean, you know, it's just the way it is.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I commend you for that, you know. But otherwise, on Comey, I think he's been corrupt. He should have had Hillary Clinton in prison. You would have all those, you know, evidence.
Well, you know, listen, he may be the number 2 lawfare guy, right? We got Letitia James. She just got her subpoena to the grand jury for her mortgage fraud. She's facing 30 years. That's one lawfare person checked off. Now Comey did this, and he did it on purpose. He's got a book coming out next week or the week after, so he did this to go viral and making a threat against the President of the United States. That's not a good way to go viral. So he's facing 5 years. So there's 2 lawfare people right there. Boom. Hey, listen, Hawaii, I got to run for the top of the hour break, but welcome to the program, and thanks for calling, man. Take care. Aloha. Okay. 1 hour down, 2 to go. If you're on hold, hang in there. There's 2 openings on the board at 1-888-465-2631. Back after this. We'll be back in 1 minute. All right, hour number 2 has begun. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. On the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. There's only one opening on the board at 1-888-465-2631. And, of course, Friday is Open MAGA Mike Friday, open phones, any and everything on your mind's fair game. I will recap the Comey story in just a bit. Let's take some of the callers first. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. This is Bob. I'm from Florida.
Okay, Bob, what's on your mind?
Hey, who was the doctor you went to lose all that weight?
It is Coastal Weight Loss Secret, online at coastalweightloss.secret.com. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, my name's actually also Brian. I'm calling from Ocala, Florida.
Brian in Ocala. What's up?
Hey, so I was just wondering that given your frequent advocacy for a strict originalist
For what?
interpretation of the Constitution,
What? My what? I didn't understand what you said.
given your frequent advocacy for a strict originalist interpretation of the Constitution, which holds that the meaning of the text should be fixed as understood at the time of the founding, you know,
Oh, my goodness.
and your
Yes.
consistent praise for the framers' intent to limit centralized government power through a system of innumerable powers.
What are you reading from?
Separation of branches.
What are you reading
and
from?
I'm not reading.
Sounds
I'm not
like
reading.
it.
And
It sounds like it.
do you need me to restart?
Oh, no. Please,
How do
please.
you reconcile that the framework with modern support among conservatives
back to
for
the
an
reading.
increasingly expansive interpretation of executive authority, including broad emergency powers, unilateral regulatory rollbacks, and federal preemption of state policies or issues like immigration, education, public health, especially when many of those powers are not explicitly granted in Article 2, and are in fact historically viewed with deep suspicion by the very individuals whose intent originalism seeks to preserve. Does invoking originalism selectively, defending the Second Amendment?
Do you still want to? Are you still going to stick with? Are you still going to?
Sidestepping the founders?
Are you still? Excuse me.
Of executive overreach,
Are you still sticking?
reducing originalism
Excuse
to
me.
rhetorical drive?
Excuse me. Are you sticking to your story that you're not reading? Come on, everyone knows.
I'm asking you a question.
No, you're reading.
Are you not following the
You're
question?
you're asking something, but you're reading. Come on. What's wrong with it's okay to read. I read. I read this article earlier.
Do you want me to put it in simple words?
No, just don't read. Use it. Just speak your mind. Don't read.
I'm not reading. I'm not reading.
All right. Stick with. Okay. So continue to lie. Continue to lie to the listeners. That's fine, I guess, in your mind.
I'll
Now
ask
that
you-
you've
I'll ask you
established
again
your
in one
morality
sentence.
and credibility.
I'll ask you again in one sentence, okay?
All right.
I'll restart. I'll ask
No,
you
you're
again
not
in
going to
one
restart. I'll hang up. Do not restart. Finish reading the passage.
No, I'm saying I'll ask one sentence. I'll make it one sentence long so you can understand.
Yes.
How's that? Sorry,
Oh,
I went
okay.
on a rant.
Yeah.
If originalism demands adherence
Oh my goodness.
to the founders' intent to limit centralized power, how do you justify supporting modern expansions of executive authority that were neither enumerated in Article 2
Yeah.
nor philosophically aligned with the framers?
Do you know? I mean, okay. I'm a little confused. Do you know who you're calling?
Yeah, you're Brian Craig. I listen to you every morning.
Okay, because by this question that you're reading, I thought maybe you were calling a law professor who's holding a lecture at a law school somewhere. Because that question you asked is not the kind of question that you would have in a conversation like this. This is not a law school lecture where we sit around and debate the different articles of the Constitution and using legalese.
You talk about these things.
But okay, the last part. What were you asking me now? How do I reconcile all that gobbledygook you read with what? I missed the last part.
Expanding executive power. Originalist.
Who is expanding the power? Who is expanding the power of the presidency?
I'm just asking.
No, who's expanding the power of the presidency?
I can't give names.
Well, Trump is the President. Trump is the current president. Is Trump expanding the power of the presidency in your liberal mind?
I'm not a liberal.
I know, you're MAGA, right?
Kind of.
Yeah, kinda. You're not. There's no kinda. You're either MAGA or you're not. There's no kinda MAGA. So is President Trump, in your kinda mind, okay, is he expanding presidential powers?
I mean, in a way.
How? How is he expanding presidential powers? President Trump.
What do you mean policy?
What? How is he expanding? Give me an example of a power he's expanded and how he did it. And what he did.
I mean, there's executive orders.
That's not new. They've always been around.
Schedule F.
Those have always
Schedule F.
executive orders have always been around. They've all the presidents have signed them pretty much. Some more than others.
Schedule F.
What is Schedule F?
Department of Government Efficiency.
What?
I'm sorry?
No, the Department of Government Efficiency was actually around during Obama's presidency, and the official head of it was a woman. I've forgotten her name. No, he didn't establish that department. It was an existing department of the government that was set up by Barack Obama that Elon Musk dubbed the nickname Doge. All right, I'm gonna move on because you keep reading and talking that way. You're gonna hypnotize the audience to sleep, and we don't want to do that. You're on the air. What's your name? Oh my goodness. Where are you calling from? Yeah. Turn down the volume of whatever device. Turn down the IB. As chronic as you are, you should know. Turn down the radio, man.
Come on, I didn't know I was on, Brian. Give me a break, man. Gee whiz, every time. Hey,
Always be prepared.
yeah.
Always be prepared. Hold on, IB. Hold on. I'm gonna take some other calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. I'm Chris from Pompano Beach.
Hey, Chris.
Yes. On the, I just wanted to mention for the, as far as the Comey thing, I mean, that's totally unacceptable. And his political client especially. There's been at least 3 attempts on President Trump's life that we know of. And Democrats should know better. You know, that all obviously incites what do they mention to us every time, conservatives, when they think we're inciting anything like January 6th. But he's not just some political junkie or political activist. He's sworn, you know, he was on oath at one time in his life, and he knows the importance of this. So, you know, the term 86 is broad. You're right. He's going to be lowered up, but it means everything from throw in the trash, get rid of, to kill. So, you know, and trust me.
No, it was in that context. It was a threat, and everybody knows it. You know, and you know the thing about Comey, because he lives in this never Trumper bubble, everyone around him hates Trump, and so he didn't realize. He thinks everybody thinks this way. He thought what he was saying was a popular thing to say. He doesn't realize that most people don't think that way.
And that's why it can't be excused. Now, he's going to have the usual support and excuses, but that's just totally unacceptable.
He should be arrested.
And he's no dummy.
Not only
he's
should...
not like some moron caller.
Not only... Exactly. Well, we've got a lot of those today, don't we? Moron callers?
Oh, my... I can't believe it. I thought I heard it all, man.
Yes. Article
Good
F.
Lord.
Yes.
Thank goodness you're a voice of reason, but, you know, others will pick it up. Maybe even those other morons are called later.
Well, what they're trying to say is others have used this phrase, including Whitmer on a coffee cup. Just because someone hasn't been arrested or caught or busted doesn't mean it's okay, right? I mean, you know, when you get caught in a speed trap, you're the one that gets caught. But how many people drove by the cop, even when he's writing you the ticket? It doesn't mean because one person got away with it, it's okay to speed down the highway. I mean, these people are out of their minds. He meant what he said.
Absolutely.
He meant what he said.
Oh, yeah. And he knows better. It's totally unacceptable. That's unreasonable. And then as far as the Department of Government Efficiency, come on. Just the $59 million that was given to Democrats and donors up in New York for the hotel stays, that will put those 12 employees of Doge with 6-figure salaries for the next 59 years. Come on.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. That's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard of, to try and be such a never Trumper that you're going to throw nimbers.
You know what it is? We've got with these liberal callers that I've been hearing from. It sounds like they're reading from textbooks, college textbooks and things, doesn't it? It doesn't. It's not organic. They're just not. They're mindless. They're like pod people.
Well, they're being told and sold. I mean, they're brain dead. I don't believe you. This is the entertaining value. I mean, it's hard to believe people like that exist, have that type of mental issue, but that's a derangement, and they really need help.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm here for.
Making America great again, and it includes all of us, and they're benefiting from President Trump's hard work, and they need to get over it.
That's right. Hey, I got to run, Chris. Take care. Appreciate the call. I want to remind you guys, Father's Day, right around the corner. Still time to order for Father's Day. There's no greater gift for Father's Day than the gift of the MyPillow slippers. Now, the robes and the pillows are great for Dad, too, and he'll love those. The MyPillow My Slippers are spectacular. There is not a dad in America, especially a MAGA dad, that does not want a pair of My Slippers. Even if he doesn't know about them, he'll be so glad, and he wants them. He just doesn't know it. They are so comfortable. They are the most comfortable slipper I have ever worn in my life. They come in different styles, different colors, and there's larger and wider sizes for bigger guys. They're good for all-day wear, and they're $90 off right now. They come in a box that's perfect to wrap for Dad on his day. I'm a dad. I know what dads want. All dads want, especially MAGA dads, MyPillow slippers. $90 off with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. You can also order by phone, toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. Call us on hold. Stand by. Back after this. Back in 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes. Every line on the board is lit. Back in 40 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on this Open Phone Friday. We call it Open MAGA Mic Friday. You don't have to be MAGA to call in, though, obviously. But you can. MAGA's welcome. We want to hear from people we agree and disagree with. And on Open MAGA Mic Friday, you're welcome to call in about any and everything on your mind. You're not obligated to talk about anything that we bring up. All right? All right, let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning, Brian.
Hey, Richie.
You got to change the name. You got to change the name of the show is to attack Brian on Friday's show. Spoiler alert, folks. Brian might be a lot of things, but first of all, I know him a long time. I know him personally. He's not gay.
Oh,
and
well,
he's
thank
not
you.
a racist.
Now they're really going to think now they're really going to think I'm not gay. You know, Richie, you've been following me really since I was a kid, right, on the radio. Since I was,
exactly.
You know, since I started doing this when I was a teenager, and even when I was a teenager, I always had gay men after me that were listeners. I mean, I don't know what it is. I mean, you know,
Well, you're in a business. You're in a business that there are a lot of gay people involved, and
that are
and
listening.
not for nothing.
Yes.
At one time in my life, real quick, I worked for Sears and Roebuck, and I was put into the display department with a bunch of people that were gay. And people looked at me like I was gay. But that doesn't mean you're gay because you work with people that are gay or you have gay friends. And there's nothing wrong with being gay if that's what you want.
Oh, okay.
All right. Now, here's the deal. They throw a word.
Now everyone's going to think now everybody's going to think we're both gay, Richie. You know that, right?
Yeah.
We're both at the club.
These liberals throw out.
Well, you know, let me tell you the funny thing though, Richard, and I'll let you get to what you missed your chance. Steve was doing shout outs to you at the end of yesterday's show, and you didn't call in. What were you doing?
I called you earlier.
Oh yeah, Steve was doing shout outs on the show yesterday for you. You know, this is the thing, okay? This, and I don't know what you called in about. I am going to recap this story with Comey in a little bit. Comey threatened President Trump. Okay, he threatened President Trump. And Tulsi Gabbard says he should be arrested. She's the director of national intelligence. So this is you know, there's a new sheriff in town, Pam Bondi, and her deputies Kash Patel and Dan Bongino. And I don't think he's going to get away with it. What do you think? He's going to be hauled in for questioning.
No, he shouldn't get away with it. And 86, for anyone that doesn't know, means kill.
Yes.
And that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're in the service, you say 86 of them.
Yeah.
And 47 is the President of the United States. People have it on all their caps that wear Trump.
And Comey and Comey's excuse is he just happened to walk down the beach and these shells just happened to be shaped in this manner from the surf.
No, well, he deserves to go. Let him tell that to a judge.
Yes.
Now, here's what I called up about. The liberals throw these words out, and now they're going to really call me a racist at the end of this one because they got Trump lumped in here. So bear me out. The word genocide. The only genocides that I know that have been in modern times were when they were trying to eliminate all the Jews in Germany. That's killing the complete race of people. Or the other genocide, which they say was Gaza, which wasn't, because Gaza was going after Hamas, not the Palestinian people. They were collateral damage, and they warned a lot of them to get out. So that's a fake genocide by the liberals, okay? But the real genocide going on right now is in South Africa, where they have politicians saying, we're going to go after you because you're white. We're going to kill you, your wife, your dog, and your cat. And President Trump took 59 people that in fear for their life that are white.
And by the way, those 59 were vetted. They didn't just bring them here; they vetted them first.
Yeah, but they're accusing Trump of being a racist because he's deporting people of color, brown people, which is hideous because you're comparing murderers, rapists, and killers and drug pushers and every other damn low-life thing
to farmers, to farmers.
White people.
Yeah.
59 white people fleeing the actual genocide because the blacks hate the whites, and for that guy that calls you up and calls you a racist, the biggest racists in the world are the blacks. And you just have to look at Africa. All
right, Richie. Appreciate the call. Richie's on fire. He's upset. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Jason from New York. How are you doing?
All right, speak up, New York.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Can you hear me?
No, I can't hear you.
All right. Give me a sec.
I can hear you. I just don't know if I want to. That's the
That's
issue.
all right. That's all right.
But maybe you'll surprise me. You know, maybe you'll be a very interesting caller.
I mean, New York's pretty diverse, you know. It's a big state, so.
Yeah. What's on your mind?
I was just wondering, the people who chanted "Hang Mike Pence" on January 6th, should they also be arrested?
Yeah, many, yeah, absolutely. But I didn't hear anybody chanting that. But if somebody said that, yeah,
There were certainly people chanting that.
Really,
on
who?
Video,
Who?
You know?
On video? Were they identified?
I don't know their names.
Okay. Well, no. If somebody, if somebody was saying that, okay, yes, they should be arrested and charged and tried and go to jail. Problem is, the people that were chanting that probably were federal agents. But no, if somebody was chanting that, yeah, they should be arrested and go to prison. Absolutely, yeah. Threats against federal officials and federal employees is a federal crime.
All right.
Does that surprise you that I say that? Does that surprise you that I say that?
No, it doesn't. It's consistent with your take. Comey should be arrested.
Yeah, I am. It's consistent with my life. You know, I don't believe people should go around threatening anyone.
Exactly, I agree.
Mm-hmm. But MAGA were not threatening Mike Pence.
I mean, the people chanting "Hang Mike Pence" were certainly threatening Mike Pence. You know?
We don't know that they were. We don't know that they were MAGA people. How do you know they were MAGA people?
I'm not saying they were MAGA people. I'm just saying they were people.
Well, if people were chanting that, they should be arrested, tried. I hope they get convicted and go to jail. Absolutely. All right. Take care. All right. Turned into somewhat of a call, but not too much of one. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Once, twice.
Yeah.
Oh, you just made it.
Yeah, this Brian?
It is. Oh, another winner.
Yeah, man. I'm just calling, man. I see you got the show going on.
Yes.
Good morning.
Yes. Well, thank you. What's on your mind?
Yeah, man. I was just wondering.
Here we go.
When you gonna take off that stupid ass hat, man? The election is over.
The hat I'm wearing is not for the past election. It's for the next election. It says Trump 2028. That's the next election.
You don't think that's kind of cultish, man?
That's what?
Like, you gotta be seen with that on. We know you, MAGA. You don't have to wear that shit all the time.
Okay, there we go. Hit the dump button. There we go. All right. Second dump of the day. That's right. No, in fact, it makes me want to wear the hat even more, actually. Well, if you're on hold, hang in there. While we're waiting for the delay to re-engage, someone called earlier and said, what's the name of that place where you lost all that weight? Coastal Weight Loss Secret. And yeah, I've lost over 35 pounds, and I feel great. I've lost so much weight. And not only have I noticed how much weight I've lost, many of you in the audience have. And I was really amazed how many of you have been messaging me because you watch me on YouTube, you see me all the time, and old videos of mine, you'll watch them and you'll see how I look then and how I look now, and you can see how much weight I've lost. It's amazing. And I appreciate those of you that are letting me know that. And to get compliments like that from the listening audience, usually only hear from the people that have negative things to say, not nice things to say. And I lost all this weight without exercise, without taking prescription medications like Ozempic, and eating foods I would normally eat. And I'm here to tell you that I am one of the pickiest eaters you have ever met in your life. I'm not going to get into the details of how picky I am because you'd be in shock. Okay, my wife and daughter will tell you. I mean, and so I hardly eat any type of food. I'm very restricted on my pickiness on what I'll eat. So I'm eating things I would normally eat and still have lost all this weight. And, no matter where you're located in the United States, you could take advantage of Coastal Weight Loss Secret, okay? And when I was talking to Dr. Zuckerman the other day, he was telling me we're getting listeners from all over the United States who want to lose weight. And a lot of couples, husbands and wives are going in together to lose the weight together. It works. And, I'm not hungry all the time. Wasn't hungry during the process of losing all this weight. I've cut my caffeine down in half because I have more energy. I don't need that extra jolt of caffeine to get me going in the morning. Call Coastal Weight Loss Secret, all right? 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. When you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the True Oldies channel and online at coastalweightlossecret.com. If you're on hold, hang in there. One opening on the board. We'll take our bottom of the hour break and come back with your calls. We're back in 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes, we'll be back. We'll be back in 1 minute. There's one opening on our board. Welcome. If you're new, make sure you subscribe to the channel. This is where MAGA comes to talk. I live stream every day, multiple times. And weekday mornings from 6 until 9 a.m. Eastern time, I'm here in the studio or sometimes at the radio station. And I take live calls like this every day. And then the other times, I do all kinds of other things here on YouTube. All right, we'll be back shortly. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Brian, this is Randy from Pennsylvania. How you doing this morning? I'm watching you right now.
Hey, Randy. I'm doing all right. How are you?
Good. Hey, first I'd like to congratulate you on your weight loss. You're looking really good there, buddy, and it seems like you got a little bit more pep in your step, too.
Well, yeah. I'm not lugging around all that weight. I weighed what I did 30 years ago, man. It's awesome.
Yeah. But anyways, I just wanted to congratulate you on the weight loss and also congratulate you on your ability to deal with these liberal leftist lunatics who just don't seem to get a clue.
Yeah.
I also want to comment on Trump's visit to the Middle East. What an epic, historical, powerful event it was. I've never been more proud of a president or my country as I was after watching that.
Why is that? What about this trip? I agree with you, by the way, but what about this trip makes you say that?
Because it's a shame that a foreign country is showing more respect for our president than a lot of people in our country, and we know who those people are, just don't seem to get it.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I've watched all of our presidents my entire life travel, and I can barely remember Ford being president. I can remember Ford running debating Carter on TV. It's a blur, but so I've got good memories from Jimmy Carter all the way till now, right? And I've never seen, other than Trump, any president of the United States on foreign visits be respected and treated like this. He's treated with more respect than I've ever seen any president ever treated abroad before. Reagan, any of them.
And that's because there are people in other countries that are getting it.
Yeah.
I mean, take a look at what he has done in 3 months.
Yeah, it's amazing.
We're talking almost $12 trillion in economic growth in our country in 3 months.
What do you think about Comey? Was this a threat he made against the president?
Comey should have been handcuffed a long time ago.
Yeah, but it looks like we got him this time.
Well, and I kind of hope that we move on it quickly, because I think this is a turning point where we really need to make a statement. And if you threaten the president of the United States, you should immediately be taken off the street.
Well, the reason he should be arrested immediately and charged, and Tulsi Gabbard agrees with this, and she's the director of national intelligence, okay, and others close to President Trump agree, including Don Jr. If he's allowed to get away with this, that's going to be the most it's going to be like the ice bucket challenge among liberals around this country. They're all going to be making this threat. So this has to be stopped, and the only way it can be stopped is if he's arrested and charged and booked. It's got to happen.
Yeah, and I'm a really big supporter of Pam Bondi,
yes.
Kash Patel, and especially Dan Bongino. I followed Dan Bongino for 11 years, and when he took the job as his assistant director, I was really upset. But I don't watch the show anymore. But this is I really do think it's a turning point as far as we need to make a statement right now.
Yeah.
With him, because I watched all the congressional hearings. I mean, he is such an arrogant butthole, and he thinks that he's above the law because of his position.
Well, let me tell you, the lawfare that went against President Trump was an organized criminal operation, and whatever their committee was, he was on it. Comey was on the committee. Let me ask you this, and I'm going to tell you in advance. My answer to this question is yes, and I'm not embarrassed, and I'm proud to say it too. Did you cry when the Never Trumpers shot President Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania? I did.
Yes, and I also did it on the Middle East visit.
Oh yeah, because you're so proud. And that's the country we're in. I think millions of people cried that day. Do you think Comey was crying that day? When we were crying when they shot President Trump?
Well,
I doubt it.
I'm really actually at this point thinking that he maybe had something to do with it also. But
well, maybe they can ask him about that when they bring him in. Hey, I appreciate the call. If you're just tuning in, what happened with Comey, if you don't know, although it went viral yesterday afternoon, what Comey did, okay. What Comey did was he put a meme up, and that meme, it was a beach meme. He took a photograph of some shells on the beach that he said he just stumbled across, and it said 8647. So the question is that a threat? I say yes. And it's a threat that's got to be dealt with. And the reason it has to be dealt with is because if it's not, others are going to do it, and this will spread and become a big thing. You know, anyone else would be arrested. You can do 5 years in prison for this. All right, let's go. Back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Jay from Jersey.
Hey, Jay. What's on your mind?
Okay, I'm gonna start off with I guess I might as well start off with the first nut, Richie, Fat Richie. He gonna bring up that situation.
Oh, you know, you've met Richie?
Yeah, I met him.
Where?
I met him through you.
No. You said he's fat. How do you know what he looks like?
Because you called him fat in front of all these people.
Oh, that was just a fit of
That's
rage.
how I know
I haven't seen Richie in person in many years.
You
He may have lost
Richie fat
when
and
I
y'all
was
got
angry.
into an argument.
When I was angry.
It doesn't matter if you were angry or not. You still called him that.
Okay. So
Okay.
so you don't like people that are overweight.
Plus he called me. I don't like racists like Richie. Richie's an old racist bus driver. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. There we go. Now back to what I was talking about. He's gonna tell me and tell all of us, and you nuts believe it, that Trump decided to go to Africa with all the people that's being killed in Africa. Only it matters is the white people. You can't explain that. I don't care what you do. He only took the white people.
Well, they're the ones that are being they're not in South Africa.
No, they're not.
Excuse me.
They're not the only ones.
I didn't say they're the only ones in Africa. Africa is a dangerous place.
No, that's under the threat that he said the white people were under.
White South Africans have been murdered and terrorized for years in South Africa since apartheid ended.
Maybe because let me ask you a question. What about the blacks that's being murdered and killed there? That don't do nothing. What about them?
Don't do nothing. Don't do nothing's a double negative. It means they do everything.
How come they weren't brung out?
I'm not familiar with what you're talking about.
They weren't brung out?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Richie said that they brought the white South Africans
The
out.
white farmers in particular of South Africa for about 10 or 15 years have been targeted. This story has been out there for 10 or 15 years about the white farmers being murdered and attacked and all of this. I've never heard anything about black farmers being terrorized.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Nothing.
Why is it that they got a free passage to America?
Because
when he just wanted to close the border, but it doesn't matter.
Because they are true refugees. If they stayed, they would be dead.
They're Elon Musk's friends, and he wanted brought over here, and he did it.
Elon Musk. Hold on. Excuse me. Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. He could fly anybody anywhere. He doesn't need Trump to rescue people from South Africa.
Trump said that you needed $5 million to come over here to stay.
These are refugees who were left because their lives were in danger.
Okay, well, what about the lie you just told a few minutes ago? You know God knows when you lie.
What did I lie about? What did I lie about?
Okay, let's see. You're going to probably hang up on me and tell you. You just lied and said you didn't know nothing about them yelling, hang Mike Pence. They just let the man out, the people out of jail.
Excuse me. No. Excuse me. No. I have not. I have heard people say that, but I didn't see people. But hold on. But I didn't see MAGA people saying it.
They said it. They hung up a noose out there with the rest of them.
I don't know that those were. I don't know that those were MAGA people.
That happened.
No.
And the people who did it went to jail.
Listen. I believe you're talking about the gallows in front of the Capitol building. I believe the feds did that.
You're a liar.
No, that's what I believe. I've talked about this a lot over the years.
You don't believe that.
Yeah, I do. And I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you. Excuse me. I'm gonna. All right. I want to say this without him because he's just getting more upset and not gonna let me talk. I believe the feds did that. I want you to think about this in the listening audience. If you and I drove up in a pickup truck in front of the Capitol building, and with a couple of guys, and there's 4 or 5 of us, and we start building gallows, you really think that the Capitol Police, the Park Police, the DC Police, that they're just going to let us do that? Or are they going to say, what are you guys building here? What are you doing? The only people that could pull up in front of the Capitol building and build gallows, which is not an easy thing to do, even if it was pre-constructed, you got to put them together and everything, would be feds. Okay? So I've never believed that those gallows were put up by MAGA people. I believe they were put up by feds. I've talked about that a lot. All right. Let's take our last break of the second hour. Callers on hold, stand by. We'll be right back. I've talked about that a lot. All right. I am, because you would recommend the other day. He was telling me, give me an example of that. Example of it. He should be arrested.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Day mornings. We'll be back in 1 minute. Actually, less than that now. 20 seconds. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, guys. All right, guys, we are back. I'm Brian. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. Every line on the board is lit. Oh, no, there's one opening on the board. Okay. After the top of the hour, Steve Kane will be joining us, and I will recap the details of the Comey story. Oh, no, sorry. All the lines are lit now. I'll recap the Comey story when Steve joins us at the top. But again, today is Friday. It's Open Phones on Friday. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. And on Open MAGA Mike Friday, you can call in about any and everything on your mind. You don't have to talk about anything we bring up, although this Comey story is pretty big. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Dave from Detroit, and those are just a bunch of random numbers on a beach. It means nothing.
Yeah.
no meaning behind it.
86-47, just randomly there. You know what that reminds? Comey's defense is the surf brought them there, I guess. It reminds me, Sonny Bono wrote a book about Sonny and Cher, and he said that Cher thought that Mount Rushmore was a natural phenomena caused by rain, wind, and erosion. And, and people laughed about that for years back then. And what are the odds that the surf just did that?
We have no proof of anything. It's just if somebody else could have done it. You have no idea what it means.
Somebody else could have done it?
Anything,
We know exactly what it means.
Yeah.
What does 86 mean to you? When you 86 something, what do you do?
It could be a special code for a special award. It could be. We don't know.
Yeah, we know. It means get rid of them. In fact, Richie called in, who's a veteran of the Vietnam War. He said that's what they used in the military. Kick out the 86 them, kill the enemy, 86 them.
Well, that's because you both are retards, and that's the retard logic.
What? You mean
retard? I'll say it again for you. I mean, you're not very smart. So
well, no, I just that's not a very kind term. Are you talking about people that are mentally challenged?
Oh, I'm sorry. Do I care? No, I really don't.
What do you care about?
I care about myself.
What about yourself?
I care about myself.
What are you doing today to take care of? You're a great person. What are you? When's the? Give an example. Give an example of something about you that I wish I was. You say I wish I was you. Give me an example of you and your life that I wish I had and was.
You're just a little boy that has a little radio station that nobody listens to.
You're listening. You're listening. Watch, he's going to use profanity, so I have to hang up next. Watch. You said, I wish I was you. Give me an example of something in your life that I wish I was.
We're laughing at you because you and your retarded logic.
I thought you said no one listens. Now you got you and others, plural.
Well, it's a plural,
Okay, so there are people who listen. Okay, so you said that I wish I was you. Can you tell me something about you that I wish I was?
I have a real life. You have your little scooter that you ride around, beep beep, boo. Your little gay Miata car, or whatever that little BMW car.
Wow, you're obsessed with me. You're talking about my Mini Cooper and my Vespa. I mean, you know a lot about me. You sound like a stalker. So back to what you said. You said that I wish I was you. So could you give me an example? I asked last time. Give an example of something in your life that I wish I was.
No, I don't have to give you.
No, you don't have examples. Okay, well, I think the opposite is true. I think you wish you were me. Oh my goodness. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. Tom from Florida. Yeah, the R word is not very acceptable in this society. You can use on the spectrum. Absolutely, that's a bad word. But
especially for somebody like you, who the word may fit. I can understand it. Hits close to home for you, Tom.
Versions, that's pretty much what.
What's on your mind? You picked up the phone and called. What's on your mind, Tom?
Basically, all right, it's open MAGA Mike Friday, so I might as well call in and say, I find it very strange that first trips are overseas and not to, why not Israel or Ukraine or anywhere else?
It's open. Okay, it's open phones on Friday. You're calling in because it's open phones, but you should have something to say. You're just babbling words. Ukraine, Israel. The R word. You're just throwing random words out. There's no thought.
Here we go.
Okay, here's the thoughts. Let's go.
He has business ties in those three areas. They're planning on Trump Tower stuff, okay?
So what?
And it's just weird.
So what?
That this place to be the first place that says, oh, we'll give you something worth $4
President Trump has business dealings all over the world, like in the UK, in California, here in Florida. I mean, he's a businessman with resorts around the world. So what?
I think he should be worrying about this big bill that they're trying to pass, cutting SNAP, Social Security benefits, Medicaid, all this stuff to people, and he said on the campaign trail that he never wanted to touch them. Now he wants to gut them.
Gut what? Gut what? What's he gutting?
What? He wants to gut Snap.
What is Snap? What is Snap? What's it?
I think it's a food.
Like, is it when you do this with your fingers? Snap. What do you mean? He wants to end snapping? What's he doing?
Oh, Brian, SNAP is an acronym. I'm not.
Oh, okay. It's an acronym. Okay, what's the acronym stand for?
Yeah.
What's it stand for?
Honestly, I don't know.
Well, if you don't know what it stands for, how do you know it shouldn't be cut? If you don't know what it is, how do you know it's good? I didn't think about that. Oh, my goodness. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. I'm Ricky from North Carolina.
Yes, Ricky.
Hey, man. I haven't called in a long time. But anyways, what are your predicaments? Not predicaments. Sorry, wrong word. What is your thoughts? Like, what do you predict? Donald Trump doing in his next 100 days?
Oh, getting these massive tax cuts passed. In the big, beautiful bill.
That'd be great.
He's going to come back, and that's going to be his primary focus. When he comes back, that's what he'll be working on.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering, because I normally like to watch your show because I like to learn. I learn a lot from you.
Oh, well, thank you.
I wonder what Brian could tell me about his next 100 days.
Yeah.
To learn. All right, Brian, I appreciate you.
All right, take care, take care. Oh, my goodness. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
The first thing I'd like to say is, your weight loss company, they did such a great job with you. I think they need to contact DeSantis because, man, he gained a lot of weight. And apparently when he's talking, he keeps trying to close his jacket to hide his weight gain. So I think if they contact him, they can help
DeSantis,
him out,
Coastal Weight Loss Secret, they could help DeSantis. He's very pudgy.
Yeah, man. All that weight he lost, he gained right back and plus more. I think, and obviously.
Do you know that I during this entire weight loss journey of mine, I haven't gained a single pound back?
Wow,
isn't that amazing?
Is great, man. Because if you're looking
Coastal Weight Loss Secret.
TV, I imagine, but yeah, man.
On the cruise, people kept asking me, "What's the secret?" I said, "Well, it wouldn't be a secret if I told you. You got to give them a call, right?"
Yeah. No doubt about it. They got to give them the customers.
All right, appreciate the call, Doug, and the compliment. That's very nice of you. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, my name is James from Florida.
Hey, James.
The reason I'm calling, I don't know how you put up with these dumb people. That's all I got to say. The whole world, they praise Donald Trump for not creating wars. I'm a Vietnam veteran, a combat veteran in this country, and I see what the Democrats did with that war. They dumped Agent Orange on the people, and they're paying for it, and
Yep.
also pay for the veterans of what they did to this world.
Yep.
And these people, these Democrats, are so stupid. It's unbelievable. Everything is about me, 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 and me. They ain't thinking about their country. They're only thinking about me. There's so much to talk about, but the bottom line, you got a great president over here that nobody ever seen before in the whole life. And he's doing so wonderful, keeping us out of wars. And these stupid Democrats, they don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah.
Like I said, I
Yeah.
can talk about four things, but I can't talk anymore.
Okay, well, hey, listen,
Thank
welcome.
You. You're doing a great show.
Welcome to the show. What part of Florida are you in?
Palm Beach Gardens.
No, our radio station's in Palm Beach Gardens.
Well, that's why I have to call.
That's right. Okay, we're in the same neighborhood. Appreciate the call. Now, I want to talk about Jupiter Joe Thomas. I've heard about annuities my entire life, and I never heard anyone explain them the way that Joe Thomas does. And when he explains them, I don't know why everyone's not doing this. Your money's not at risk, like with the stock market ups and downs. And unlike all these other things, not only is your money not at risk, no matter what happens in the financial markets, you have a guaranteed revenue stream and income for the rest of your life. That's a pretty good thing, isn't it? There's a lot of other things annuities do too, and Joe Thomas will be glad to tell you about all of them. But that's all I need to hear. Your money's not at risk and you got a revenue stream coming in, an income stream for the rest of your life. That's all I need to hear. And that's an awesome thing. Give Joe Thomas a call. You know, he offers free phone consultations to our listeners, and you can take advantage of these no matter where you are in America. No matter where you are in the country, you can take advantage of the no-charge consultation with Joe Thomas. When you talk to him, he'll put together a custom proposal just for you based on your situation and your goals. Give him a call, 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. And if you missed the number, just go to his website. It's real easy to remember, JupiterJoe.com. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. I'm Matt. I'm calling from Florida.
Hey, Matt.
I just wanted to make a quick point about what a previous caller was talking about.
Okay, go ahead.
And, well, basically, he was saying what James Comey posted didn't mean anything and all that stuff. But if it didn't mean anything, then why did he take it down and then apologize and then said he condemns any violence?
Yeah, you know, not only, you know, I'm of the opinion, after the top of the hour, I'm going to recap the story when Steve joins us for those that are just tuning in, but Comey should be, not only should he be arrested, he needs to be arrested, because if he's not arrested, it's going to send a message to these liberal lunatics, some of which I've talked to, that what he did is acceptable, and it's not. Yeah, exactly. It's not. And
I agree.
Yeah, and I hope they arrest him today, late in the day, because he might not be able to get arraigned till Monday, and he could spend the whole weekend in the jail.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Yeah, it should be today.
You don't want to get arrested on Friday, I hear. I've never been arrested, never will be. But I hear you don't want to get arrested on Friday. You know, look at the way they treated people like the great Peter Navarro. They put him in shackles, and they put him in John Hinckley's cell. Look what they did to Roger Stone. They busted in his front door with CNN. And Comey's threatening the president of the United States? Come on.
Exactly. They didn't wait a month either to bust down their doors and put them in shackles. It happened pretty quickly. And
indeed.
And yeah, they know for a fact that James Comey knew what it meant and did it on purpose. And
every American knows what 86 something means. Everyone. Contrary to what the liberals will claim today. They're going to tell us it has many different meanings. He's not a restaurant worker. He said what he meant, and he meant what he said. Hey, I got to run. We'll be back after our top of the hour break. You there? Hey, hold on one second. Hey, hold on one sec. All right, you there, Steve?
Yes, I am.
Okay, hold on. I wanted to recap this story when we get back. I tried to. This Comey story is huge. Huge.
It is big.
It's big. I mean, you know. Okay, hold on.
Hard to imagine anything will come of it.
Yeah. Oh, no. It will. But I want to recap it for people that might not know, because I haven't had a chance to since 6. Okay. We got less than a minute. Okay. All right. You there, Steve?
Yes, I am.
Here we go. All right, the third hour has begun. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. I'm Brian Craig, Steve Kane joining us. Oh boy, Steve, I wanted to recap this Comey story, which I think is a massive story, and I haven't had a chance to recap it since I opened the show at 6. For people that are just tuning in, it won't take long.
I'm vaguely familiar with it. Can I ask a mini question?
Yeah.
Going in?
Yeah.
How did they get him to admit that he did it?
Oh, okay, I'll tell you. Comey put a photograph that he took on the beach and posted it to Instagram. So millions of people saw it. And what he did, there were shells on the beach that said 8647. And he took a picture and posted it on Instagram. Okay, immediately the internet almost broke down, Steve, with this yesterday afternoon. This was late in the afternoon yesterday. The internet all broke. It was. Let me tell you, it's been a long time since I've seen something go viral like this online. I don't know if anything's gone viral at this level since Elon took over Twitter. I'm not exaggerating. Things immediately went crazy. Comey deleted it. And then he said that he just happened upon these shells on the beach that spelled out 8647, and he didn't know the meaning of them. I hope he told that to the FBI when they questioned him, because lying to federal agents will send you to prison. And he sent people to prison for doing that, lying to federal agents. So I hope he tells the feds that he did, all that. The director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, was on Jesse Waters last night, said he should be in jail. Others from the White House have said the same. Now, the president is on his way back to the United States, but Comey needs to be arrested for this. It is a threat. By the way, Steve, that's a 5-year penalty, minimum, 5 years. And the reason he's got to be arrested and charged is because if he does not if they don't arrest him and they don't charge him, 8647 is going to be the most common thing you hear from liberals in this country moving forward. So they're all going to be threatening him because they're going to say it's okay to threaten the president. So they got to stop this. And I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, nothing's going to happen." Kash Patel's the director of the FBI. Dan Bongino's the deputy director, and Pam Bondi's the attorney general. This is not your normal FBI. The director of national intelligence already said he should be arrested. Tulsi yesterday, on Jesse last night, okay? And not only that, I mean, Laura Ingraham and others have also talked about this. Others inside the White House, Dan Schiavo, who's with the president, said the same thing. Don Jr. is flipping out about it. And I'm sure he's talked to his dad. So we're in a new place now. We've got real people running the country, not corrupt people. So that's what's happened. All right, I don't know. Do you want to go back to the call, Steve, or what do you want to do?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, now I certainly want to hear your thoughts on Comey. Is what he did a threat? Should he be arrested? And all of that. But it is Friday, open MAGA Mike Friday, open phones. You are welcome to call in about any and everything on your mind. You don't have to talk about the things Steve and I bring up, but I really would like to hear your thoughts on the Comey matter. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, Brian. Hello, Steve. It's Steve from Boca. I always say you guys are great, but yeah, I'm aging myself. I'm 72, and the first time I ever heard of 86 was in a television show in the 1970s called Get Smart. And they were Agent 86 and Agent 99.
Yes.
And anybody and everybody knows what 86 means. It's time for, Brian, you're right on target. It's time to play hardball, not softball. And if we don't play hardball, we're going to lose our country.
Well,
and
yeah.
There's so much more.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, and I'll tell you, what they're already defending this. Okay, they're trying to tell us it's a term used in restaurant kitchens, and okay, but I don't think Comey's ever worked in the restaurant kitchen.
You got it. time, like the television show is called Get Smart.
That's a great
It's
show.
time for our country to get smart.
I forgot about Get Smart. You know, I was such a fan of that when I was a kid. I saw the Get Smart feature film in the movie theater. Remember what it was called?
No.
The Nude Bomb. They had a bomb that took disintegrated everybody's clothes. You know, and the other thing is, they're showing that this is something that liberal protesters have had on signs outside the White House. So that makes it okay. Yeah. Just because no one's been caught before doesn't mean it's okay. Okay?
Listen, the games that the media plays, whether it be Hakeem Jeffries or it be these people that attack the ICE people, if we don't start playing hardball, if we don't start playing chess instead of checkers while they're playing chess, we're going to lose our country.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You know, the lawfare people, and I believe that the lawfare committee, Comey's one of the leaders of it. Okay, maybe the leader, frankly. We got Letitia on the mortgage fraud. She got the subpoena for the grand jury. She's facing 30 years. This is our opportunity to bring one of the leaders of the lawfare movement, James Comey, to justice. This is 5 years in the federal lockup for this.
By the way,
we need action. We need action. We don't need
trial going to be held? Is the trial going to be held in the D.C. venue?
Wherever they want. It could be it could be anywhere. Depends on where they book them.
They'll never find them guilty. They'll never find them guilty.
Well, then they shouldn't. But they shouldn't book them. They shouldn't book them in D.C. They should book them in. They should book them in Fort Pierce in Judge Cannon's courtroom.
They should put him in jail and not give him any bail. No bail.
If you or I did this to Biden, we'd be in jail right now. They'd have busted our front door down with a battering ram.
January 6th, guys. January 6th, okay? No justice. No equal justice under the law. We need equal justice under
That's
the law.
correct. That's right. All right. Appreciate the call. Yeah. I can hear the anger in his voice, Steve. Oh, gosh darn it. I disconnected Steve by mistake. I'll get Steve during the break. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
David, and I'm calling from West Virginia.
Hey, David.
How's it going?
All right.
Well, the things I'm kind of wondering, and kind of what's boiling my mind, not only is this is the first time Comey's done something like this, but then look at everybody else, even from his first term.
Yeah, but here's the thing. We got him on this because we've got the evidence, right? We've got the evidence. So you get them on what you can get them on.
Yeah, we also have evidence on the other. You've got Madonna threatening to blow up the White House.
All that stuff's counter. Hold on, slow down. That's counterproductive.
Yeah.
You don't want to fill up the discussion with all these examples of people that got away with it, like Madonna. All right, I appreciate the call. What you've got here, we've got a guy who did this, we've got the evidence, and it's fresh. If you go through a list of everybody else who said or done something and got away with it, that doesn't bring us justice. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Bri. Is this, am I on?
Yeah.
Hi, I was just, this is Ollie from down south. I was just wondering, you mentioned Joe Thomas earlier. I was wondering if you have any, is that a sponsorship deal or are you just friends with him?
Obviously, it's a sponsorship deal. Don't you hear me doing commercials for him every day? I mean, my goodness. All right, listen, I'm going to take our break a minute or two early, and I'm also friends with him. You can be both. You can have a sponsor you're friends with. I'm going to take our break a little early because I disconnected Steve by mistake. I'm going to get Steve back on the line. Calls on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back. Hey, I disconnected you by accident. Hold on. I took the break. Hold on. All right, you there, Steve?
Yes.
Okay. I hit the wrong button.
but I can hardly hear you in my headset on the phone.
What about now?
A little better.
Okay. Okay. We'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
Oh, no, 90 seconds. Bet 90 seconds. We'll be back. Hold on. All right. Yeah, some of these callers, just stupid questions.
I don't know. I just got a listener off the air.
Yeah. I mean, some of these are just... Well, what's happened is the liberals are losing their minds. They're going insane. Like Comey.
Yeah.
Like Comey.
Well, he's a lunatic. I can't believe he had... I mean, he's stupid.
Because he's in a bubble of Trump hate. He didn't, he didn't realize what he was saying was wrong. Doesn't everybody think this way? That's how he thought.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Okay, hold on. I'm just going to answer some of these calls. Okay, we'll be back shortly. I just hit the wrong button last time. I disconnected you by mistake.
That'll happen.
All right. See, the thing is, Comey's got a book coming out next week or the week after. So I'll tell you when we get back. We'll be back in a few seconds. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. We got Steve back. I disconnected you by mistake, Steve. I hit the wrong button. I meant to hang up on the caller, and I hung up on you. Before we go back to the phones, I just want to tell people that the most important day of the year will be here before you know it. It's called Father's Day. There's no better gift for Dad on his day than the gift of great products from MyPillow. And I've been talking a lot this week about the MyPillow slippers. And I know you have, I think, 2 pairs of them, Steve. I have the MyPillow slippers as well. And I've worn slippers all my life since I was a little kid. I've never worn slippers as comfortable as the MyPillow My slippers. They immediately relieve the stress from your body. They're made for all day wear. In fact, you wear them on our cruises, even on formal night with your dressy clothes.
I wear them all the time,
yeah.
everywhere.
And the whole time on the cruise, it's formal night. People are in tuxedos. Steve's dressed up. He's got the MyPillow slippers on, the black ones. And nobody even notices because they're so nice, right? I mean, nobody even says anything but me. If I didn't point it out, who would know? And the MyPillow My slippers are $90 off, $90 off. They come in a great box for wrapping for Father's Day, $90 off at MyPillow.com with our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. And they come in many different colors. There's different styles, and they have large and big and wide sizes for the bigger guys. So go and get yours. Okay, before we get back to the phones on Comey, a couple things with Comey. He's got a new book coming out either next week or the week after. So he did this on purpose to get people talking about him. Okay? He just didn't realize what he was doing was breaking the law. And I was telling you during the break, Steve, we've been talking a lot about how the liberal callers to the program are mentally devolving before our eyes on the show. They're devolving. They're losing their minds. Comey is as well, but he lives in a bubble where everybody has Trump derangement syndrome, stage 4, and they all hate Trump. So in his bubble of Trump hate, he didn't realize there was anything wrong with what he did with the shells. Doesn't everybody think like this? Everybody I know does. It's like that guy that said, how did Nixon win? I don't know anybody that voted for Nixon, right? Remember that guy? Who made that? Who was that had that quote? I can't remember. Who said that?
That was Dukakis.
No. It was before Dukakis. How did Nixon win? I don't know anyone who voted for Nixon. And that was in 1968. Who said that? Anybody know? Let us know. Anyway, so in Comey's circle, he doesn't know. But he did it on purpose because he was trying to get attention for the book. He just didn't, because he's in that Trump derangement syndrome
He got carried away.
bubble.
Yeah.
Exactly. And as soon as it went viral, Steve, he deleted the photo. So he knows he did something wrong. And his excuse, well, I was just walking down the beach and these shells just happened to be there that said 86 47. Really? So the surf did that? I mean, give me a freaking break. I mean, you know, so he's guilty as the day is long. All right, I'll try not to hang up on you this time, Steve. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
PJ from Broward.
Hey, PJ.
Yeah, hey, you know, I'm seeing a weird parallel between James Comey and another deep state official that was also fired by another president. You know who I have in mind?
Who?
No, tell us. Okay, give me a hint. The president that fired the guy was John F. Kennedy. Okay, the answer is Alan Dulles.
Okay.
Thank you for your call.
All right, PJ. Is there a point?
Well, wait a minute. Wait, huh?
Yeah, go.
But the thing is I mean, if anybody studies the assassination of Kennedy,
Yeah.
Alan Dulles was playing a big role, and unbelievably, he was like the main guy in charge of the Warren investigation, also.
Oh.
But he was very angry. Listen,
I'll look into it. I'll look into it. So, what do you think about Comey? Do you think Kash Patel is going to arrest Comey?
I think there should at least be an investigation and being interrogated. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hey, I thought aren't you going to Portugal today?
Yeah. No. I'm going to Portugal on Monday night. I'll send you some photos if you want.
Okay. All right. Appreciate the call. All right. You know, he's going to Portugal just to go to a restaurant where they bring a whole pig to the table. It's very strange. PJ's a friend of mine. I've known him for many years. You know, Steve, there have been people that have gone to jail for these memes, right? And there was somebody just texted me this. There was a nurse here in Florida that did something similar involving Kamala Harris, Vice President of the United States, and they got busted, right? And this was just about 3-4 years ago. So, you know, and if there's been a lot of these social media posting cases that have made the news in the past 4 years with Biden and Kamala. So there's a lot of legal precedent for this. All right, our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631, 1-888-465-2631. All right, let's see if we can get some other people on the line. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi there, Brian. My name's Dave. I'm from New York. I just thought I'd give you a call. Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air.
Yeah, I just had a couple questions. You know, I've listened to your show a couple times, and it sounds really fascinating. Just to tell you a couple things about myself, I'm a vet, and I've been a cop for several years. And, you know, I find we agree on some things, we agree on some other things. But if I just had to ask you a question, if there was one thing that you could say that you agree with the left the most on, what would it be? If there's just a couple things, no matter what it may be, just out of curiosity.
The sky's blue, and the ocean. There's nothing I agree with the Democrats on. Nothing that comes to mind.
Really, not anything.
Nothing that comes to mind.
Compromise.
Well, they're evil people.
not a single
They're
thing.
evil people. They shot President Trump in Butler. He was shot by never-Trumpers. Right?
Well, the Donald Trump being shot was a horrible thing. We both.
He was shot by people that are supporting him not winning. That's why they shot him. They support abortion.
Terrible thing.
They support abortion. You know, the Democrats support men beating women up in boxing matches in the Olympics. Now, I don't support any of that.
But do you think, as far as fiscal policy, as far as do you
Fiscal
think there's
policy.
any level of compromise? And I'm genuinely
No, they want to tax us to death. They want to tax us to death. No, I agree with Democrats on nothing.
Now, now let me ask you another question. Just another one.
Yeah.
And by the way, the callers earlier that were insulting you and calling you names by that, I find that to be disgraceful.
Nah,
just so you know,
okay.
I think that's disgraceful.
Yeah.
And I'm glad with the way you dismissed
All right.
that and everything. But the thing that I was going to say was, so the thing regarding Comey, right? Just because you just also brought up the attempts on President Trump's life, right? The the seashell thing and everything. And I'm genuinely asking this. Do you think, just to give your ideological opponents the benefit of the doubt for just a second, do you think it's possible that Comey did not know what 86 meant?
No, it's not possible.
You don't think?
No, it's not.
Totally dismissed the
Steve, what do you think? You want to answer that one, Steve?
In a word, no, it's impossible.
And Comey has a history with Trump.
Oh, sir, let me ask you a question, Cole.
Yeah.
Did you know? Yes. How did you know?
How do I know what, sir?
How did you know
Yes,
what
sir, I'm
86 meant?
Well, I told you I've been a cop and I'm a veteran, so I knew what it meant.
Oh.
But I knew but it also it did have other meanings. and the thing was, I know other callers called about, how
Please.
it was used about throwing people out of a bar, right? Getting rid of a disorderly drunk and stuff like that. I've had people call me up and say, you got to 86 this guy and throw him out of a bar before. That's happened to me before in my career. And they didn't mean to.
Oh, so that's what Comey meant. He wanted to throw Trump out of a bar.
I'm not saying that he did. I'm saying that you could entertain the possibility
No.
that that's what he was saying. Because you're just saying to throw Comey in jail right away. Because maybe Comey's just a fucking idiot.
Okay, well, no, I would. Okay, dump button again. I think he's the idiot. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We got to wait for the delay to re-engage. Boy, what is it with these? What is it with these left? Steve, the leftists are big. I don't know if we've hit the record on the Steve Kane Show for the number of dumps we've had to hit today. But what they're doing now is they're testing out different talking points on this 86 business. One of them is he doesn't know what it means. Every American knows what it means, right? It means get rid of him.
Yeah.
Get rid of him. And he's not up for election again. And context means something too, right? So, so get rid of him. How do you get rid of a guy who's not up for re-election, right? So they're trying to act like, well, maybe he didn't know what it meant. Then they got this other one. It's a term used in the kitchen of restaurants. I've never heard that before. But even if it's true, do you think Comey's ever worked in a restaurant kitchen, Steve?
No, it's ridiculous. It doesn't pass the smile test.
So yeah, I feel like the Democrats have their people calling us this morning to just try out, just try out their talking points on this. Because since 6 o'clock I've been getting this. 86 means get rid of him. Get rid of him. That's what it means. And he knew exactly what it meant. But it goes. I've used this example before without using the names. Years ago, a couple of people that Steve and I knew through the radio business went on a national television show, and they were swingers. You know what I'm talking about, Steve? Don't say the names. And these were very prominent. They're very prominent business people, and they went on one of the most highly rated national talk shows and talked about how they were doing wife and husband swapping, swingers. And I called you, and I said, what were they thinking? And you told me, well, because they live in the swinging world, everyone's a swinger, they lost touch with reality, with what is moral and not moral, right? And they didn't realize what they were doing, right, on national television. Well, that's what Comey did. In Comey's world, everyone thinks that way. So he didn't realize, he just think, oh, this is what everybody thinks, right? That's why he did it. But he immediately deleted it as soon as people questioned it, and it went viral. So he woke up out of his slumber. And that's what happened, and that's that. I want to tell people about Coastal Weight Loss Secret. It was amazing to me when I talked to Dr. Zuckerman the other day, and I got to stress, because people ask me, I am not taking any prescription medications. I'm not taking Ozempic. And I would never recommend anyone take. You see all that stuff about Ozempic, Steve? They got the new thing, the Ozempic tongue. Oh, my goodness. Taking no prescription medications like Ozempic. I'm doing no exercise, and I'm eating foods I would normally eat. Today, Steve, I'm going to go to Chipotle, and maybe I'll head over to Wings Plus this weekend. And those of you on the cruise, I was eating everything you were eating, including desserts, okay? And I lost all this weight. But a couple things Dr. Zuckerman from Coastal Weight Loss Secret told me that really amazed me. Couples are coming in together. And I wasn't thinking about that. But yeah, you know, couples, you eat the same stuff typically, right? You're married. So if one of you has a weight issue, good chance the other one does too. So yeah, going in as couples is a very normal thing, and I would encourage that. Also, Dr. Zuckerman told me that Coastal Weight Loss Secret, they're hearing from listeners of ours from all over the United States. So no matter where you're located, you can take advantage of this. You don't have to be local here in South Florida. And of course, it works. And if you want to lose less than I did, or you want to, you know, like 20 pounds, hey, give them a call. If you want to lose 120 pounds or 200 pounds, give them a call. All right, it works. And you know, I was never hungry through the process, and I'm not hungry right now. I don't know why, but I'm not, and that's really awesome. So give them a call. Here's the number. When you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the True Oldies channel. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlossecret.com. All right, callers on hold, stand by. Back to your calls after the break. All right, you there, Steve?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I mean, my goodness, with the dump, we hit the dump button so many times today. Oh my goodness.
People are getting crazy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, we got an update. We got an update. President Trump has commented. He said President Trump said he knew exactly what he was doing. And I've got two updates. The president's commented, and Comey has done something. I'll tell you those when we get back. All right, you there, Steve?
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, Trump said he knew exactly what he meant. A child knows what that meant. That meant assassination. Now he's going to get arrested. Oh, you got to get him on what you can get him on.
Don't be so certain.
If they don't arrest him, every liberal is going to be saying this for the rest of ever. It's got to be done.
You think they're going to make him walk the...
I hope so. Perp walk?
Perp walk?
Oh, man, we haven't had a perp walk in years. I love
That would
perp
be
walk.
fun.
I love perp walks, yeah. Less than a minute, we'll be back.
This is a long one.
Oh.
Oh, this is...
Wait, hold on. Hold on. Like 10 seconds. Okay, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane's here. Calls on hold, standby. All right, Steve, we got two updates. The president, our favorite president, has commented. He said Comey knew exactly what he meant. A child knows what that means. It means assassination. That's the president. And Comey has deleted his Instagram account where he posted it, deleted the whole thing. So, Steve, what would the bookie say on a Comey arrest odds? What do you think? You back with us, Steve? Did I lose you? Okay, let me try again. I lost Steve. Hold on. All right, you back with us, Steve? All right, we lost Steve during the break, but that's okay. We'll go right back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Ivy and Broward.
Hey.
Hey. Man, you're getting a run of those college kids. It's really nuts. They're passing your number around. I love the way how you're schooling them, though. This Comey thing it's outrageous. Starting with having the brazenness to go to Trump in the Oval Office and drop a piece of paper on his desk and basically try to blackmail him. This is psychopath attitude and behaviors like
that's true.
Like Gavin Newsom. And
so what do you think now that do you think Comey's going to get arrested?
If Bongino, remember I said Bongino's not going to disappoint himself. If him and Tom Bondi does not immediately do something, no going to court or giving any chances when
all right,
in the middle of the night.
Oh my goodness, you're a man of a few things. Yes or no? Is he going to get arrested?
I think he should, and yes.
Not should, will he? Will they arrest him? Yes or no? Not should.
Will they? They must. Yes is my answer, because that would mean that we are infiltrated or.
Okay, I agree with. Okay, he says yes. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Dave, it's Dave again.
No, Dave, it's one call per show. One call per show, all right? One call per day. One call per day. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Nick from Baltimore. Good morning,
Nicholas.
Steve.
What's up?
Hey, listen, I know we don't have much time, but I'm so angry about this Comey statement. I mean, he knew exactly what he was saying. And I don't know, he should be acted upon, meaning he should be arrested. It should be swift.
Well, we all agree that he should. The question is, will he?
Well, that's the big question. If he isn't arrested within the next 24 to 48 hours, meaning give him the weekend at least, maybe. But
well, now keep in mind we're talking about Cash Patel and Pam Bondi, and
I love them both.
Will they arrest him? You think? If you were to bet on it?
Well, I hope they do. I'm thinking they will, but I don't know. It should have happened already. If this had been, if a shoe had been on the other foot, and someone had said something about, God forbid, about President Obama or any Democrat, I mean, it breaks down the door. The J6ers.
Well, President Trump said. President Trump responded. He said he knew exactly what he meant. A child knows what he meant. That meant assassination. The president said.
Right.
So that tells me that they're really taking this serious at the White House.
Right. So
All right.
We'll see. I hope so.
Okay. All right. I understand a lot of people don't think so. We got new people running the government now. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian, it's Carrie. You hear me?
I do, Carrie.
Yeah, I'm getting background noise, but very quickly,
Oh, we lost you. They got you. It's like fail-safe here. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian. Hi, Steve. I tell you, Brian, one of the things that I find so aggravating about this is the fact of the timing of this. Here's our president coming back from the most spectacular road trip by any president in the history of this great constitutional republic. And he's got clowns like this trying to pull this thing and then say, well, the she shells lined up and all this crap. And not only that, but from the respect that the rest of the world has for our nation, from a business and finance standpoint after this trip, we're at a record high. The peace plan that President Trump has offered should be he should at least be considered. He won't get it, but if these agreements hold up, he should at least be an honorable mention for the Nobel Peace Prize. Do
you think Comey's going to get arrested for this?
I think he will. I think they have to.
They have to.
We have the. Yes, because we got our guys in there. There's no doubt what this is all about. Guys like Cash Patel Bondi and
Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. Yeah, and I'm glad to hear you say that, because this They have to. The president's ticked off. You can tell. He's very angry about this, and he should be. I'm angry about it. I know you guys are too. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air.
Hi, Lynn from Boynton.
Hey, Lynn.
Hey, how you doing today?
Hi.
So listen, I wanted to just say how it's just like history in the making right now, and I wish everybody would grasp that, whether you like Trump or not. Just understand that this is something that will never, ever, ever happen again, and just to relish the fact that somebody is looking out for America. And he's just doing things that have to be done.
Do you think they're going to? Do you think Kash Patel's going to arrest Comey for this?
Well, I hope so.
Nah, we all hope, and why? I mean, what do you mean hope? We all hope, and we all think he should. But the question is, will he?
Well, I don't think he will.
Let me tell you
I don't
something.
think he will.
If Kash Patel does not arrest him for this, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and Dan Bongino are in big trouble. They're going to lose.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, they will lose if they don't arrest Comey. MAGA people are going to. It's going to be brutal. They're going to lose all respect.
Well,
I think they're going to arrest him.
Yeah.
Now I don't expect the perp walk, but I think he'll get arrested.
Okay, all right. And hey,
Well, no. How are they? If they let him get away with this, who's going to respect them anymore?
Yeah. Well, that is true. That is true. Because I just heard this now about Comey, and I was just like, what the heck, and I was trying to look up some information about it and everything. But I just think these people are nuts. They're even doing things and saying things and posting stuff. I mean, they just get themselves in trouble.
They do.
And
All right.
All
right, appreciate the call. All right, take care. Yeah, they should, but they don't. It's the problem, You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
About Comey.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, I'm Brian from Boca.
All right.
Thanks for taking my phone. I'm on like an hour. Anyway.
Well, the busy show.
Congratulations on your weight loss. Very good job. You look great.
Thank you.
What I wanted to say to these liberals, do they know what they call their pill? RU486. What does that mean? That's murder.
Yes.
That's the pill they come out with.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait.
Oh yeah, RU486. It took me a second. That was the trial name for the abortion pill. Yeah, RU486.
Yeah. Abortion pill.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot totally. I forgot all. Yeah, it took me for a second for that to register. Yeah, RU486. During the clinical trials of the abortion pill, that was that was the name. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, that was worth holding on so long.
Huh?
That was worth you holding on so long. You made a great point.
No. I got more to say. They're going to arrest him today. I hope they do it early so they could drag him through before they can arraign him so he spends the weekend in jail.
That's what I'm hoping.
That's what they're going to do it. They're going to do it tonight. And he's going to be
tonight. After 5 o'clock when the courts are closed.
Yeah, they'll drag it out all day, and that's what he deserves, to do something like that. I mean, where was his head at to do that?
Yeah. Well, he'll have the highest priced D.C. lawyers waking federal judges up in the middle of the night ordering his release,
Yeah, they should storm his house.
No. I kept them on too long. Oh, boy. Okay, let me take another call. All right, let's go. What a dumb thing to say. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Stupid. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Helen from Massachusetts.
Yes, Helen.
Helen from Massachusetts.
Yes, Helen.
Regarding, there are actually two things I wanted to discuss, but the first thing with Comey, I can't help but to think that what he posted is in order, like for a plan to start being performed or a mission, almost like the villain in a James Bond movie. So it makes me a little uncomfortable, wondering if the president's going to be safe as soon as he.
Well, that's why he's going to get arrested, because if he does, this is so high profile, if they don't arrest him, all the liberals are going to be saying it and posting it everywhere, and it'll become the most viral thing in ever. It's got to be stopped. And to stop it, he's got to be arrested.
Yes, I agree with you, but even if he gets arrested, if it was in order to do something...
Okay, all right. Okay. I mean, he's not going to make orders on Instagram. I mean, come on. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Steve and Brian. Good morning. JJ from Mass.
Oh, you know what? We got 30 seconds. We got a break. I'm sorry. I just looked at the clock.
No problem. Well, Comey will be arrested. Not should, he will be.
Will be. You say Comey will be arrested. Okay,
He will
agree.
be. Yeah, 100% will be. That's planned.
Trump is ticked off about very ticked off.
It's 100% on purpose. There's no mistaking that. 86. I've worked in restaurants. I've managed them. I've owned them. 86 in restaurants has always meant that. But there's also other, the origin of the word, it doesn't matter. The culture of today is 86 means basically, run the fingers across your neck. It means to kill the item. 86, it's done, it's over, no more special, etc. So he's going.
Yep. All right. Appreciate. I don't know. It's 5 years sentence. So All right. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll be right back. I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't know what happened that time. The first time was my fault. I hit the hang up button by mistake. That time, I don't know what happened. I just didn't hear him. All right. Hold on, Steve. I got to get William. Stand by. Hey. Stand by.
Lord.
Steve.
Hello?
Stop.
I can't.
Okay, all right, stand by. Okay, I just want to make sure. Don't yell. We're going to be back shortly. Hold on. I'm going to conference William in. All right, guys, stand by. We'll be back shortly.
Heard that.
30 seconds. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how are the metals ending up the week?
Right now, it looks like they're going to end up on the lower side after literally an up and down market all week long, as gold would go up $50 or $60 one day and back down the same $50, $60 the next day. So it's been kind of a wild ride, but the market yesterday trading in a range of $31.77 to $32.42 on gold, closing out the day at $3,239.50 the ounce on gold. That was up $63.40. Silver was up 41 cents at $32.60 the ounce. Platinum was up $9 at $9.90, and palladium closed up $7 at $9.44. Overnight, we saw gold trade in a range of $31.64 to $31.82, giving back pretty much all of yesterday's gains, down $61.50 right now at $31.78. Silver, $32, down 60 cents. Platinum down $8 right now at $9.82. and palladium up $6 at $950 the ounce. So again, gold hanging in these ranges that we've been in for a while, a little bit lower, and giving us still a good buying opportunity, about 10% below the all-time record high of $3,500.
Wow, that's amazing. So this is a great time to increase your position, or if you're not in the metals, there's never been a better time. I mean, they're on fire right now. And at William Youngerman's, everything is available for immediate delivery. You walk in, you walk out, and you've got your metals in hand. Give him a call. He opens up at 10 a.m. The number's toll-free, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. Or stop in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway, on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. And you can find both William Youngerman's address and phone number on his website, williamyoungerman.com. All right, William, it's a great time for the metals, and we'll talk on Monday.
Okay, have a great weekend.
All right, take care. All right, Steve. When we left our two heroes, President Trump has commented. He said Comey knew exactly what he was saying. He said, a child knows what that means. It means assassination. That's the president. So if you were betting with the bookies on this, you know, what are the odds you think that Comey's going to get arrested now?
Oh, I don't know. It's hard to say.
I would say he's going. They got to do it. I mean, how can they not arrest him at this point, right? It's so high profile. Steve, if they don't arrest him for this, every liberal in America, all day, all night, that's all they're going to say. They're going to be repeating it. It's going to be everywhere. It's going to be all over the place.
Well, that's going to happen anyway.
Not if they're putting people in jail for doing it. You know, if he gets away with it. That's me. That's my opinion. All right.
What constitutes in your mind when you say if he gets away with it? What constitutes getting away with it?
Not being arrested and charged. This is, there's a snowball effect going on with this story. I saw it in the afternoon yesterday. I don't know, 5, 4, somewhere around there, maybe 6, somewhere between 4 and 6. I saw it online, and it started really taking off. When I woke up this morning, when I was a little kid in Ohio, I bet you did this in New York. You start with this, you and your friends roll in the snow, and it gets bigger and bigger when you run it. The snowball effect is hardcore in effect right now. This story, the outrage from MAGA world is getting bigger and bigger every second. Tulsi Gabbard was on Jesse last night saying he should be arrested. The president's made it pretty clear. Don Jr.'s made it clear. Dan Schiavo, who is one of the president's closest people, has commented on it too.
Well, I mean, just to play devil's advocate for a minute, don't you think in a way it's playing into Comey's hand?
You could make a case for that, but
Well, how can you not make a case for it?
What do you mean, make him a victim, a martyr?
If they arrest him,
yeah,
it's going to consume the news, which has been up
correct
till now at this point focused positively on Trump. It's going to take all the concentration and promote this fantasy that really entertains about something bad happening to the president.
Yeah.
You got to take that into consideration. Do we want to give up the news cycle for something like that?
Yes.
That's
yes.
what the Democrats do.
Yes.
Of course, the Democrats have nothing positive to push. They
yes.
Continue to go with negative themes.
Well, let me tell you. Yes, it is. Yes, it should be done no matter what with the news cycle. One of the things we want are the lawfare people brought to justice. He's one of the leaders.
You want to make the assassination the topic of discussion for the next foreseeable future?
I don't care. If you want to bring the lawfare people to justice and stop the cycle, we've got Letitia on the mortgage fraud, right? She got the subpoena the other day for the grand jury. She's going to prison on the mortgage fraud.
Well, you put out a great premise for a question for the audience to deal with.
Yeah, and Comey, we get Comey.
But there is a downside. You can see there's a downside.
There's a short-term major downside because it'll be
if it goes to trial, you don't think it's going to be months of the focus
Sure.
of the news?
Absolutely. If they arrest him today, okay, it's Friday,
what
they'll threatening the life of the President of the United States.
Okay.
Okay. What they'll do, it'll be the biggest news story in years. They'll make it. The media will make it bigger than those arrests they did of President Trump. It'll be big. It'll be.
Isn't that giving Comey what he wants?
No, it doesn't mean he's not going to get convicted. Okay, these lawfare people need to be brought to justice, and
maybe we're thinking. It wouldn't shock me if his thinking was he may get arrested, but at least he may die in jail, but he'll die rich.
They'll go to, if they arrest him today, even though you got to go through the arraignment and all, and I don't know if you can get arraigned on the weekends in the federal courts. I don't know. You have to wait till Monday. I don't know. They'll be waking Obama, Biden judges and Clinton judges up in the middle of the night to order Trump and Bondi to release him. But I'm going to tell you this: if Pam Bondi is who this is up to, okay? If Pam Bondi and Kash Patel do not arrest and charge Comey, they're done. They're done. MAGA will lose, and this will blow down.
MAGA, I'm sick of hearing MAGA, for crying out loud. You guys are developing a cult.
No, it's the new Republican Party. They're done. The people, it's up to Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, mainly Pam Bondi, and if they don't do it, they'll have a hard time returning to being MAGA.
The decision is going to be made by Trump.
Well, she's the Attorney General is Pam Bondi, and it's up to her.
Okay, but before she just makes that decision, you don't think that they're going to consult with the president?
I don't think they have to. He already said what he meant assassination. I think, and
that's what he said in public.
That's what he said. Yeah. I don't think they would have I don't know if they would have a direct conversation, because if they have a direct conversation, that in fact the president said it's up to Pam Bondi, Steve. The president said it's up to Pam Bondi. If she has a conversation with him, that could be considered, messing around with the system, and that could be bad news. No, they should not have a conversation with the president over it. But if they don't do it, Kash Patel and Pam Bondi will be done in MAGA world. And Bongino may have a problem too. They need to arrest him. It's got to be done. It's got to be done. Why can't you? They arrested our president more than once for things he didn't do.
The question you asked is the only question that really matters. And that is, will it get done? And the fact is, I don't think they're going to pull the trigger on it, because I don't think they want to. I mean, this man has accomplished in the last couple of weeks the unheard of.
Steve, the top.
The head of every news cycle.
Pam Bondi.
Everything positive. You think they want to abandon that news cycle?
Well, before I respond to that, I want to remind everybody about the free doorbell camera offer from Sloman's. With Sloman's, you can get a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. It's amazing. The doorbell camera will change your life. It's a part of your security system, but it's also convenient. Imagine never having to look and see who's at your door ever again. And you get that notification on your cell phone no matter where you are, whether you're at Publix, Walmart, or on vacation. You can see who's right there at your door when you get that notification. But Sloman's, that's not all they're going to give you. They're also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. You're going to get an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts, a lifetime warranty, and a backup battery. Plus, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Give them a call, 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050. Yeah, Steve, the media would collapse over this story, okay?
What do you mean by that?
The media will have meltdowns if Comey's arrested. It'll be.
What about the news cycle? Do you not agree with me that it's going to dominate?
Yes.
And especially the more...
That might help us. It'll be a lot easier to get that big, beautiful bill through when everyone's looking at Comey. Fine with me. I don't care. I know it needs to be done. And let me tell you, the president said it's up to Pam Bondi. If she does not do this, she'll end up resigning or being fired as Attorney General down the road. And she'll never be in MAGA world again. The MAGA people want him arrested for good reason. And I know.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think he wants to get arrested?
Maybe. But he's a crazy person. Yeah, probably. Yes. Comey, yes. But
why does Comey want to be arrested?
It'll make him a martyr in his mind.
Exactly. And what else?
A hero. He'll be a hero in the liberal circles.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's
but he's a
correct.
crazy person, Steve.
And it'll be a 24-hour-a-day news cycle.
Yes.
For the foreseeable future.
Yes.
And if it goes to trial, it will be for the next year
Or two.
I don't think that's
yes.
what Donald Trump wants to make the focus.
He wants. I think Comey. He wants the lawfare people brought to justice, and this is a crime he committed. Now I don't care about the news cycle. This is too important. And if we're going to drain the swamp, this is how you got to do it.
You're allowed for the possibility that Trump may have a different feeling than you do?
I think Trump agrees with me. He seemed pretty angry.
And you base that around what?
His tone with what he said. His tone. He seems very angry about it. And Don Jr.
Yeah, the show is pushing over because I know there are a whole lot of people who would love to comment on this.
Well, it's always good to keep them wanting for more.
Yeah, that's true. It'll be a hell of a show for next week.
It could be the Joyce Kalpin show. I think they applaud the person that's listening when it's over. Yay! If they're still awake, of course. I couldn't help myself, Steve. We're out of time for today, but we will be back Monday morning at 6 a.m. This is Florida's longest running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Steve Kane, of course, has been here. My name is Brian Craig. If you're on hold, hang in there. If you're on hold, you'll be first in line on Monday morning's program. Great calls today. And welcome to all of the new listeners. Our listening audience is growing by leaps and bounds. All right, we'll see you Monday morning at 6 a.m. Take care. All right, guys, listen. If you are new, make sure you subscribe, all right? And if you're already subscribed, please like and share the video if you don't mind. My name's Brian. This is Where MAGA Comes to Talk. Talk to you next time. Take care.